Hey guys, 2 o'clock. Welcome back. Couple hours left until we get to the weekend. Let's have a look at how the markets are setting up here as we head through the final hours of the day. 1.25% for the S&P 500. We're off the lows, but only just right now. The Dow 1.2%. It's been all about the NASDAQ, specifically the big ones, the NASDAQ 100 leading the way all day long to the downside. Following a number of Fed officials coming through this morning with comments suggesting, yeah, they're not done yet as far as interest rate hikes are concerned. That is hurting crypto markets as well. 3% for Bitcoin, better part of 3%, 2.7 right now for Ethereum. Back to the downside we go as well. 1.25 right now for this group, the S&P 500. It's the tech sector that's been leading all day. Autodesk and Adobe here, 7.5 and 12.3. Autodesk, ADSK off earnings. INTU, tough to see there, but that's into it. They reported better than expected results. They were up 3.5%, now just 1.2%. So anything that's green, even getting sold to the downside. Here's a consumer discretionary group, the entire group in negative territory outside of a few in retail land that are looking pretty good. We do get more from retail land coming through next week with earnings. Boeing downside 4.6% on that note this morning regarding the Dreamliner. Some delays in production because of a fault that they found. There's Moderna down 5.3%, leading the way as far as healthcare stocks are concerned as well. LYV 9%, Paramount 4.5%. It's been an ugly day for all of these communication stocks, specifically some of the streaming names getting hit. Netflix, tough to see, about 1.8 downside as well. There's Google, both of them, Google and GOOG, both better part of 2%, just different class of shares. If it's the first you are seeing of that. A little bit of strength, if you want to point something out, a little bit of strength down there in bank stocks and the financials overall. It's 1.18 right now for the S&P. Hope your afternoon is going well. It's haircut day for Fahad. Liz was just out here. Did she actually? Oh, she did. Braiding his hair very nicely. Just ponytail. Okay. We'll get to that coming up here in about 45 minutes or so. Stick around for haircut day for Fahad. Again, thanks to everyone who donated. We got through that goal so quickly, going to a great cause, helping everyone over in Syria and Turkey. Let's kick things off with a bit of a review, as we do most days. We'll talk a little bit about what was available to you this morning as far as options were concerned or opportunities were concerned for trades. Neil is going to lead us off this afternoon with a look at one of his trades.
Welcome to your trade of the day, as always brought to you by Day Trade the World As I Like It. We're back in front of the screen, and it's all about the short squeeze, Bed Bath & Beyond. Look, you can talk about the earnings all you want. Quite frankly, cost cutting is a good thing. 37% short interest is just a teensy bit better. That's the reason for most of the move into the upside. Now look, you've got a huge parabolic move that already happened in the aftermarket. So you're pretty much gonzo when you're talking about a consolidation off 17 here, and you're getting up to that $20 area. Now, I got marked off a couple of things. You've got the pre-market high, kind of like 1990, 1995, and then this 2017, about 2020 level from the aftermarket. So I was just looking for a clean breakout. Like, the way I see it, if you're going to squeeze, you actually have to break a resistance level. It's not enough to buy it at the bottom. It's got to break a resistance level, kind of like Carvana couldn't do, so it only went down. This broke out. Anybody that was shorting off of those highs, thinking that this company should go down, that's going to be the trouble point. Now, my initial entry, I actually got a lot of slippage on this trade. And that's the key. I know Sean had 20 with a long, probably more liquidity on a 20 long. But when I'm keying off of this random sort of line in the sand here at 2017, I get slipped all the way up into 30s. So I end up getting like a 34 fill, which kind of skews my first exit, which I'm thinking pop an offer at 2049, because if it fails 50, there's going to be a little bit of a dip. So I'm instantly out way too tight. However, the other two exits are going to be pretty clean. Now, I don't have a daily chart up for you guys. This is like a 15, but 21.5 was a big level on the daily. Kind of a double top, and I was thinking it gets to that price and it could run out of steam. So that's why I'm getting out 50s, out first curl I saw in front of 21. It ends up busting 21, and then it just smokes this level. On a 3-minute, you're not going to see much deceleration, but it did initially reject the 2150 level. I got out when it did that, thinking we were about to get a drawback into the 21 for a bit of a dip buy. That never happened. It was off to the races. It was actually a breakout. If you took the daily breakout at 2150, it was pretty clean. You actually got the same $1.50 move if you took that breakout on the higher level. Now, as it was coming back in, the market was getting crushed. At the lows of the day, we were holding a higher low on Bed Bath & Beyond. If the market's at lows and a stock is strong, I'm going to want to try to find a long trade. So once it started consolidating above 21, got in, scalped some out for 40 cents in front of 2150. Again, 2150 key price. It tried to break out. And then once it failed that breakout, I got out of Dodge. Now, I wish I had left it there. I took one last stab at it off of the original breakout consolidation area, kind of got into the consolidation as it was trying to go, and then just stopped out beneath. But the real story is that break on the higher time frame. Breaking yesterday's high in the afternoon, and then even the break on the daily at 2150 ended up working out. Momentum and breaking resistance are what you want with a squeeze play, and that's what Beyond Meat was on the earnings play. That's why it's your trade of the day is always brought to you by Day Trade the World.
Yeah, great mover so far throughout the session, but pre-market as well for Beyond Meat. Back to the upside on that earnings report. Squeeze potential there as well for BYND. That and more on the watch list this morning. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab that every single day, guys. Use a QR code, enter your email address, and then there it is. All the research you need every single day in one spot. Comes right to your index. If you missed it this morning, we were talking about inflation because PCE, we get the final reading on the month over month, on the year over year number. Both come in hotter than expected. So 5.4 on the year over year number here versus 5%. The month over month up 0.6 versus a 0.5% increase. Consumer spending to the upside as well, 1.8% versus 1.4%. Again, indicating still underlying strength in the overall economy. So it was all about inflation fears creeping back into the market. That leads me to this. There's the 10-year. This is an hourly chart. Ever since yesterday, this thing's done nothing but go straight to the upside. Back to multi-week highs here for the 10-year, back around 396. Currently, the 2-year, however, kind of hanging out, not really doing a heck of a lot. Look at the dollar today. That's a daily chart. If you zoom in here a little bit, though, the dollar making a huge move intraday after that data suggesting the fight against inflation not over yet. And then we get a whole bunch of Fed officials coming through all day long talking about the same thing, essentially suggesting that there's more work to be done on the inflation front. Fed fund futures right now pricing in 50 basis points worth of an increase coming before June now, which is up from last month. Anyways, I saw the note there on Block. We started things off this morning talking about SQ and earnings. We'll do the same here this afternoon. Not only do we hold in positive territory for SQ, guys, but trying to get back to the upside currently.
I eventually traded Square. Eventually. You know what's interesting? We have it on the bear right now, but I mean, if we retake 12,000, not that my track record for changing that thing's any good, but if we retake 12,000, the market could go for one. But Block, good earnings. I didn't think it was bad at all, but sometimes it's not about what the earnings are. It can be the prices that it's trading at. And I just found, if you looked at this, it looked incredibly bullish. They always do that up down kind of crazy nonsense. Close at 77. For the better part of the morning, it was holding the higher low above the aftermarket range. So you're thinking, hey, this could be a breakout. Support like 78.50. It's going to go. When in doubt, zoom out. And what I saw when I kind of looked at it was also this. This is going to be really cheesy, but what I saw was this. I need this stock to be breaking this channel. It's that simple. If it's going to break out post earnings, the dip is the 50 period. Missed the dip because it didn't get there by like 50 cents. That's how it works. And then over 80, it was about 81 I actually thought was going to be the breakout. Get above there, break this channel, and then it can go. But there's another way to look at it. When the market kept on retesting lows, Square bounces off the previous close in that 73 area, consolidates off this resistance, and bounces once again, so higher consolidation. I love that setup. That's making a bottom at a key level on good earnings. making a higher low consolidation. So I scalped that to 77. Could have just held it all the way through. I re-entered when it took out 77. Oh yeah, position board's not really showing for me.
I got to get in and out of a position there quickly.
Oh, there it is. So anyway, so I had the long off of the 77 now, scalp some of that out. I'm looking to dip buy here at 77 even. Probably easier to look at that on the 3 now, 3-minute chart. So I like this one trending to the upside. It could run into trouble back here, 78.50. So if the market gets through 12,000, I'm kind of eyeballing that 78.50 area for the next out. The more I look at it, maybe I don't even want to reload at 77. I'll give it a chance. Just see where it wants to go. If it bounces off 77, I try to get in off of that bounce. But this has been a pretty good long. I didn't have the bottom, but once it made the trend and showed support, then I jumped into it. Once it showed me the VWAP support, bounce once, second bounce, take it, and see how far we can go.
All right, so I'm just going to talk about it quickly because I'm in NVIDIA and I just didn't want this anything to happen here before we got going back to the downside. So I know it's coming up as the 4th topic here, but we're still long NVIDIA from that bottom. It's really silly, and I know Luca had this trade as well. We're still holding 20% of our trade of one of the trade. I mean, we had a lot of shares down here. We're not holding 20% of our total position, just of that last fill right there. And so the idea why we didn't get out, and it's foolish now, but it's like we just came back right there, and I was looking at this 234, and I was like, we're $5 in the money. Like, why aren't we taking it out? But then I thought the same type of thing. What if we did take that 12,000, and then all of a sudden this high might become support on the downside, and that just never took it out. So we never got above this 234.50. Otherwise, I would have seen it get upside and then hit 234 out as a way in. But now, whatever we've done doesn't matter because now we have a position here. So let's wait to see what happens with NVIDIA. We're still long that, and was debating getting it out because right now you're all on these lines right now. The 200, the VWAP, the 50, they're all at the same level, and that's 232. And look at this, bar coding out here at 232. So, you know, I like the long in this name because it's strong, and we know that from yesterday. It's obviously the same as the market right now, but I still like this NVIDIA long, and I'm willing to hold this back to 234. Hopefully that can happen, but again, you know, you can't sort of look, I mean, you could always look back and say, why didn't I get out? But that's sort of the point of holding it, was to see if we did have that huge move. And it does suck to give a little bit back on unrealized, but let's see if NVIDIA can still make it happen. Possibly long bids down here at 230.50.
All right, what a day it's been for some of these chip makers, back to the upside as well. Just seeing that Ford moving around once again. There's a few people still circulating that note from this morning, guys. TechCrunch was one of them. Ford production remaining halted for another week on the Lightning, but we knew that already. Here's CVNA, 22% to the downside today. There was really no bid ever. 750-ish ends up being the level at the bottom there. We're trying to get back up to 8 currently. Pretty ugly report right across the board. Inventory still an issue. There's so much piling on. Carvana, guys, downside huge today.
So remember we said like, a stock can't squeeze if it doesn't, if nobody shorting the stock gets broken, then it's not going to squeeze to the upside. And in the pre-market, kind of like Lucid yesterday, there was a level which immediately formed kind of after 8 o'clock when you have a little bit more action. 7 a.m. earlier, maybe not enough in there, but the volume starts to pick up just a little bit after 8 o'clock, and it put an 885 level in. I like the higher low at 905. I like the entry off 885, and then that higher low, or whatever you want to call it, lower high, because it was on the way down, 905. That was my line in the sand. It was pretty simple. I just said, look, if the people that are short here, which is better than I had, and here, which is where I started getting in, if that gets stopped out, then I'm just out of it and waiting for the next level up, which could be 950, which could be 10. I got in at 880, was able to get some down to 850, and then the open happens. And if it had broken the top, I would have been out. But it holds 905, so it's like short, and then as usual, get way too much out in front of like 825, leave only the last piece on, and there was a bid. The only bid I saw was at 8. What ended up happening at 8, I was actually a little bit convinced it was about to go up because it broke 8 even, did this wick down to 93, and then slammed right back up. I got out at 802 on the way back up, and then it ends up holding 8. I kind of thought, oh goodness, I should have gone long because it ended up being a pretty strong bounce. I thought I could have carried a VWAP, squoze, and all that stuff, so I wasn't shorting it again. But I just should have shorted the next pop. I didn't believe it. I thought it was making a pretty strong bottom and thought I'd missed a chance to go long, and then it flushed all the way to 750. So probably, as usual, kind of always out too early on these plays. It's hard to try to go short at the bottom when the short interest is that big. And when you look at the daily chart, it is look at what it did last time. It was at the 50 period on the daily. It's now bouncing off the 50 period again. So this is not a place that I want to be shorting Carvana. If anything, I think there might be a decent bounce type or short covering play here at the 50 period. It's just a matter of finding a good consolidation level, which might be there at 750. So if it tests down at 750, I might take a shot at the long, as weird as it sounds for this name.
Oh, Neil, you're so weird. No, I think that's fine. Look, the thing about it is we're day trading. Neil and I have to be flat at the end of every day. So the fact that Neil's going to go long something, we have our outs. And yes. I think that's obvious there, hopefully to many of you. Look, Apple, just the NASDAQ's starting to pump a little bit here. So I like that. I like that sort of movement here in the market. We'll see if we can take down sort of this afternoon high right now and then get back to 12 and then 12.20 and so on and so forth and make that move back up to the upside. But with that being said, Apple should probably come out right here at 40. I'm just going to give it a little bit more to 50. It's still the same trade that we've had on all day here. 147 short. It did really get going into, it did get going into the money here. But look at that. There's the bottom of 75. There's the bottom of 75 again. So I kind of feel like this trade might temporarily be over now to the downside after it made a couple bottoms there at the exact same price. Again, should have noticed that. I'm not really sitting here trading the same way I am now that I would be in the midday there as other things happening. So we're going to get out at 140. It's not a big piece, 146.50 if that does break. And right now, NVIDIA is trying to break as well. Back upside right now, 232.50. We're still long those names. And then I have a new trade idea, which I think is what, this review is great and it's good to understand what we are doing, but let's talk about maybe a possible trade here that I don't mind putting on right now if that happens, and that's Meta breaking right there to the upside. So let's see if Meta can break through 170. Neil and I both actually had talked about that trade. So
I actually took the dip though.
So you're long now. Okay, that's fine. I think for me, I just wanted to not really play right now. It's more like if we break. So 170, I'm going to give it a little more than that to the upside, but 170 is what I'm looking at right now with Meta.
Today, just be aware, Fed's Mester making more comments now. Second time today. So just be aware, watch the market. Wedbush, guys, on Microsoft this morning, raising not only their price target, but a very positive note here, pointing specifically to their cloud Office 365 and Windows ecosystem as growth potential. Ends up being kind of a ho-hum day. Not much to do unless you caught that move down, as I know someone did today. But starting to pick up a little bit here with the rest of the tech.
All right, so yeah, I traded Microsoft a little bit here today, but it wasn't as big of a trade as I had sort of hoped maybe it would be. We were long all here into 250. So my first idea, I don't even know where my sticky note is. Here it is right here. How can I not know where it is? There it is right there. So I was really hoping that we did have something coming through here on Microsoft, and it looks like we'll be fine with it. It's just, it dropped out, and there's that 250 level. We talked about 250 here on Microsoft on the daily chart, and it's just a 20-minute there. That's 250.70 there. So that level, you bring it down just a little bit, you're at 250.50. We opened today around 250, so I'm like, let's go long against that level. And this is what we tweeted out, that we just quite frankly made a mistake on this trade, right? And we didn't get enough shares in and out of Microsoft, but there it is going long, getting them out at 75s. These were all good trades until it eventually broke. And then we got in and out on Microsoft. So, no real trades here for me yet today on it. It was really early. We tried to be as disciplined as we could. It came in, it started the day. When I wrote the sticky note, we were at 253. So, of course, I'm going to sit here and say I like 250, right? So it came in right there on PCE, and then it just dragged lower the rest of the day. But there's a little bit of a lesson for everybody here. If I zoom in a little bit, we're long at 250. And then we're out at 249.50. So there's the long again, and there's the out. So pretty easy. You take a 50-cent hit because we have some wins in here. So it's a loss on Microsoft today, but one that I'm okay with.
So before we move on, I didn't trade Microsoft today, but I just wanted to go over Meta very quickly because I did get this position. I threw the bids in there, right when I sort of sat down for the trade of the day. Was going to do it before, but it's just making a bit of a nice upward trend. And I think the breakout is where it gets really spicy. No question about that. If this gets above 170, and if you draw an upward trend line, I think 170.20 would be the channel. And if anything, it's converging. It gets converging toward that price. Maybe not the even. I think the breakout can be really strong in Meta because it's just higher lows, higher highs. It's setting it up. But I wanted to take a dip buy in front here just to have something going in because it's such a nice looking trend. And that way, if we don't get to 12,000, this could still be a nice trade. And if we get back past 12,000, I think it's just more juice to the upside. But as far as Microsoft goes, I feel like there's going to be, just to go to the daily chart for a second on Softy, like what I really wanted today was 47. It feels like it's trying to get to the 50 period and make a test of that level, and it's never been all that clean. It's really never bounced off that 50 very nicely. So I just want to see it get down to that 47. I love how it transfers that trend line I drew to my 15-minute chart, and it made a double bottom above that. It was $1 away, which I didn't like for the long. So that's going to be one to watch next week, up or down off of that 50-period moving average. If it starts breaking down below it, I think there's going to be some good shorts. But Softy, after getting a bit of a pullback recently, bouncing off this, has a good range to be able to come back off of. Just maybe not today.
NVIDIA here on this Goldman Sachs note this morning. They go to buy from neutral this morning, so an upgrade from GS. I highlighted this line down here because it's interesting from Vanda Research. They believe that retail traders are behind Thursday's surge in NVIDIA shares, noting that social media chatter data showed a significant uptick in mentions on Wednesday. So finally getting some retail crowds flocking towards some of these bigger names.
Well, I mean, I thought, look, it's not just retail. A lot of people have been going for NVIDIA recently. Let's be real about that. So I want to get to Intel because I did trade Intel the other direction, and quite frankly, it actually got pretty strong if we're looking at it. I was in this the first time on the 30 level. It was a pretty decent scalp. I actually got in a little bit early, scalped in, scalped out, got back in. I know I'm talking about Intel after, Prad. It's all good. I'll get to Intel. I always do. Bouncing off 230 the first time. And then took some out when it got to 31. Thought we were going to clear out. But then this nasty wick happened. So this is where it made we'll call it the champion bottom. And that's like 29.50. So I did end up taking that out. And then when it made the other low, that's where you wanted to get in. So got in a couple of times off this. And it got to 234. And I'm going to kick myself for this, because look what happens in NVIDIA at 234 from about 11:40 to 12:20. So 11:40 for 40 minutes, 11:40 to 12:20. And we're going to pull up Intel. And if you look at 11:40 to 12:20, like that's in here. And I was short 25.30 on Intel all the way down to 25. And then when it held 25, I was talking to Sharif, and it's like, 25 is a monster level on the daily for Intel. I should start working the long. So I went long and was greedy as all hell. I'm getting in. This is me getting out of the short. I'm getting in, not taking VWAP. I'm adding to it, taking some out at VWAP. But then you saw NVIDIA make that top right here. NVIDIA made that top. And that's when I probably should have just gone right back to shorting Intel. Then it makes the low. See, like NVIDIA comes back, then it makes the actual low. I end up getting stopped out because at that point I'm not really believing in the long anymore because I quite frankly don't always on Intel. And then there's the bounce and it's holding VWAP. If anything, this is now stronger, I would say, after having flushed out a lot of those longs, myself included. So a breakout on Intel feels pretty reasonable at the 25.15 level, which is, sometimes it's just how it is. I should still be in that long. I should have gotten back into it. But when I made the wrong call, I should have been still shorting here. Like, this is still a short. This, when it wipes out the low, that's where the longs start. When it wipes out the bottom, then you start getting that long, not anticipating it, participating in the move.
All right, let's go, man. Meta is getting back up. We do have a $3 winner right now in NVIDIA, so that's going to be a good trade here. Trying to go longer right now on this name. There it goes, man, right back up to the upside. So we like that, but we are getting ready to get into Meta right now in a push. It's breaking through 170 as we speak. I like it a little bit longer than this to the upside here through 170.10, just so I can have a backing of 170 or so. If we do get punched into this trade, That is 95, 96 right there. I like to hold it a little bit longer, but there we go, we're in. So we just got punched in there. So it just broke through 10s, 11s. So now we are into a brand new position here. Meta breaking the upside. Yeah, we probably could have got longer a little bit earlier, but I wanted to see sort of a clean break through 170. So I just waited for 170.10. Let's see if it gets going back up there to the upside. Honestly, I don't think it's worth holding too far, but that 50 period right there on Meta is 70, so maybe we have a nice little upside move coming from that. So let's wait to see if that's going to hold, but that's what my trade is here on Meta, and I want to hold it. But yeah, since we're talking about NVIDIA, same trade, man. This is the #1 name here on the sticky note once again today, so we're going to see if it can go upside right now and even further, man. We already sped in the face of $5, which we should not have done. We're long at 229.80 there, and it went all the way up here to 234.24, so 450. We didn't take it. If it comes back up there, your boy's taking that no matter what. So hopefully we can get back up there and I'll make a decision. But for now, that's what we're doing. We're waiting for NVIDIA to go. Yesterday we had the same trade and it went up to 237 where we got out. Unfortunately, I can't even show you because we have all these wicks there, but I still think NVIDIA has a chance to go, especially if this NASDAQ continues to make a move higher through 12,000. So let's see if NASDAQ has the juice. Right now, pullback central right now on Meta as it's trying to come back in. Watch out for this 169.70 area, which is right there for the 50 period. I got to do something to get out if we're wrong. We could be wrong. Market down 2%. You know, holding along into the close for very long doesn't seem to be the right decision. So we'll hold it for now, but back to 170.70, I think we can probably get out of it.
It's up 10% right now. Prad trying to convince me that Beyond Meat is quote unquote a real gain today.
It's for the title.
Regardless, it's fine. Don't worry. We started with Beyond Meat. Why don't we wrap things up with Beyond Meat? There was a number of analysts with price target moves on the stock as well. The median, I wanted to point out here, the Wall Street's median price target right now, $14.50. We're at 23, guys. Is this too much today?
34.50.
34.
No, I don't.
It's not going to 30.
It's not going
It's not
there.
going to 35.
It's not going. That's more of an inside joke. But I mean, look, we wrote it down here today, and again, it wasn't super hard, man. For this Beyond trade here, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw this as early as you possibly saw the sticky note. So it's right onto here. Beyond Meat, watch for a 20 break. We talked about it being 40% short float. We wrote it right here. Watch the 20 break. We never got the 18 support. That's where it is now. So now that I see that I've written this down, I'll probably have to go over to it. But right there, there's the 20 break, about as clean as could be. $20, first out 20.50, next out 20.70, next out 22.50. So we have the bottom of the break basically and the top. So for me, that was one of these kind of trades. And yeah, it was very, very profitable. I love when things work out. It's always real nice. So there's the in, there's the out. And then there's me leaving it alone the rest of the day. But you are into a spot right now that is a supported area. I still think we can get a little bit lower to 18, but hey, man, we're done with Beyond Meat, man, so hopefully that's good. My daughter's gone vegetarian, and she doesn't like the Beyond Burgers, so you tell me what that means. But nice upside move. We captured the top and the bottom of that. Can't be happier with our Beyond Meat trade. Let's just see if we can make some more money elsewhere.
I do. Now I got that skid in my head. You save 50 cents here, go to another store. Save another 50 cents. You got $1.
People, I don't
Go
know.
to the dollar store, buy yourself something nice. We're Canadian, man. I love Russell. Look, we love Russell Peters. He's a Brampton kid. I'm from Brampton. I still live in Brampton. I'm always going to love Russell Peters. But Beyond Meat, if it was at 18, I think we'd probably be looking at longs already. It's actually closer to 19, believe it or not. But it's really dirty down here. Like, it's kind of whipsaw action. Let it test the actual low, maybe. Yeah, I want this thing testing the actual low before I even think about another long. It's like CVNA. Let's see the bottom before we start looking for a dead cat bounce in this name. I did just grab, oh, it's still a 15-minute chart. I did just grab this dip on this little trend that's kind of going on, this upward trend in Meta. When I drew the upward trend line, I felt like 170.20 was like the break of that line. And now it's like, should I have waited for 170.20 to have gone? We'll see, because I've just added into it. I like Meta on this trend. It just needs to find itself a low. I thought it had just done it there at 169.90. Now it's going to get put to the test. Yeah. There is a name I like to the short side. We've done the rundown. Always out to. The story of today is I got out of all the shorts that I liked way too early. So it was the case with Carvana. It was 100% the case with Coinbase today because Coinbase down to 57. And I know I slapped 57 as where I wanted this to go, and I was shorted multiple times, and I still somehow managed not to hold out for 57 even. Shorted it first when it took the 60 area, shorted again, got wicked out, jumped right back in when I was wicked out, and when it was putting in the higher low and I felt the market was bouncing, well, the market has held that bottom. Coinbase has not. So Coinbase is clearly relatively weak. I just need to figure out a way to do something about it here, but it's at that 57 support. So it's going to have to do something. It almost has to break that level down or climb all the way back up $1 for me to want to short this name again. That's frustrating. It's always frustrating when you're short something and you have the trend and you're all out thinking it's about to make a bottom and then it makes that flush. I'd still like to get another crack at it. Maybe the third time can work as well, but it's going to have to make a move either through 57 or up to give me a fill above 58.
All right, so we just averaged into our meta, but it is a slippery slope right here. It just came down to the 50 period. We took another fill, so I'm going to take a sum out here at 96 because that was the average price. So right now, 03s. So we take a 5-cent hit there. Now let's see if meta wants to continue to climb upside here. As we just, I'm trying to take a little bit of risk away, and the reason is that what if we barcode the rest of the, go up, go now would be pretty nice. But I feel like maybe, like Neil was just mentioning there with okay. Hopefully this will go. Sometimes if you hit that, it makes the stocks go up. I don't know if that's true or not. But let's see if it's true now. Meta, so here we go. Nice upside move. We did average into there off the 50 period. I was like, you know what, if that's going to be my out, then let's just go a little bit. The 50 period was actually at 75, so we took an 80, and we haven't broken yet downside, but look at that. This is a nice move back up, man. I got to take some out because, again, I'm over levered right now in this name, needless to say. So hopefully we get in more of a bounce. We just took some more out there. When these outs are like this is above that, that's above that, but look at it turn back again. This NASDAQ, are we... I honestly, when I looked at that, I thought that we could take out 12,000 and then that meta would go, but we've just stopped again at 11,980. So I don't know. We do have now only 15 minutes until Fahad shaves his head. I want to thank everybody. Over $11,000 raised right now, and that's been absolutely fantastic. I want to thank YouTube as well for having this option for us to put it to a fundraiser. So thanks for that, Fahad. Pretty soon, man, it will be all about your hair coming through. So I have a phone call, but I'm not going to take it. I think it might be regarding my car. But there we go. Nice upside move here for Meta. Let's take some more out as we go. But for right now, our out still remains around 70 cents. So if that falls back in, it's a 30-cent hit. So I'd much need this name to get up to 30 cents. Now that we've taken some risk off here, I'm looking for Meta to break a lot higher than this.
Yeah, I actually want to add to this if it can take out 120, but I also trimmed it. It cannot seem to get past 170.20, which was where the trend line and the top end of the trend line kind of lined up there. I still want to give this move all the way back into 169.50, essentially where the trend's held. That allows me to maybe add one time in there. We'll see what happens. I do want some shorts in this market. If we roll over, if we never take 12,000, there's got to be some shorts out there. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not about hunting for opportunities that are the short side. It's about looking for relative weakness. I was thinking Alphabet, but I tried shorting. It's weak. It's not moving, which is, if it's not moving, it's not useful. And then another name which was out there, I'm just going to double check to see where it is right now. Moderna has been, Moderna's not having a good day. We can talk about that. I'm pretty sure Brendan might have mentioned this one in the morning, but Moderna's not having a good day. It's not having a good week, as you guys can see here. So I just felt what is trending to the downside and might be able to give us something to play a bit of a trend this afternoon and even work off of a level. So 140 on Moderna. Now it's at the bottom, which is always tricky like Coinbase is. So I would like to play it off of a level, and that might be that 140. Just looking for a couple of ideas to the short side. Am I ready? Are we ready for Fahad is the poll up here. Well, I'm about to click yes, I am. But if this isn't 99%, I don't even know what's going on.
I selected wait, what's happening?
But you're just doing that to be ironic.
Yeah. That's all.
42, that's
of course
44.
we're excited for Fahad.
Of
I mean,
course
I
we
think
are.
honestly, man, I mean, you know, the dude's a handsome guy. I think he's going to look better with short hair. So I want to thank him for doing it, first of all. Who was that, you?
How come you have
Professor.
that? I don't even have that one on my board.
It's because I probably hit it too much. So it's probably better if you don't have it, because then it'll piss the audience off because I'm hitting it.
It's a
You have so many
Canadian
that I
thing.
don't even have, including this one.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
I don't have that one. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
mean,
have.
I kind of like that one, but
I
now
have
I'm,
Luca and Sean for that.
yeah, and I have myself and Kat, and then where's Brendan's? Do we have a Brendan one? Oh, not yet.
I thought Brendan did make one.
I don't know if he did. Oh, he's editing. It's in edit
He
mode
made one.
right now. Okay,
Oh, here
so
comes Moderna. That's pretty
let's just go back to a trade quickly here. I mean, one trade that I talked about briefly was Apple there. I would love for this name to continue its downside move, but honestly, as this goes down, as this continues to go down, obviously our meta is going down even further here. So we're going to have to watch out for this trade breaking out now. This is why you got to take profits sometimes when things fail. You guys know that here's the 50 period on the NASDAQ. I don't like to be long anything if we're below this unless we're at like super key levels. And honestly, the only reason why I was going long meta through 170 is because it's not at a support level, like it's breaking higher. So as I think levels need to break higher, obviously getting stepped out on this one to the downside is not what we're thinking. So this is going to be a little bit of a temporary problem, I would think, now for Meta. But we do have an out oil right there, still climbing a little bit, even though we're closed now on the electronic front. On the floor, still trading electronically, oil up 1.3%. Not that that's mattering right now. You also have the US dollar, which this should be helping our long, but the DXY coming back in a little bit right now. Whoops, back down to the downside. So that's helping. If the US dollar does break lower through 105 again, then I think that could be something. But we've had a very strong day for the USD, so let's watch out for this one, breaking these levels lower. But as you can see, it's trying to hold right now. Meta just bounced back up, as you can see, through 170 again. So, hey, man, maybe we're onto something, maybe not. But let's see if Meta can work here.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a reload. I want to get a little bit more if it dips down closer to my trend line around the 60 level. But I just talked about Moderna. It was a little closer to 139. Now I'm short Moderna, and we got it in front of 140. Now you got to give it some room. This is not a stock where you have a stop literally at 140. You guys can figure that. Like, Moderna is not that kind of a liquid name. It does 4 million in volume right now, which is pretty solid, but it's not going to be something where you're only risking to that exact penny. So I will probably give it to like the quarter area, and then you got to factor in slippage as well. So you're risking about 40 cents as a minimum, I would say. So it needs to get down into the 139. Which makes sense for that makes sense for now, then the low of the day as well, 138. So actually you got to get bids out there last I checked. So I'm going to throw some bids. I still like the idea of Intel. I was saying if Intel could break, this is actually starting to look a little bit strong. But the second I said that, the market pulled back. If it holds this higher low, that's it holding 25 again. So that validates the breakout even more. If I have a breakout set clean for 25.15 on Intel, if we ever get it, fantastic. If I don't, then I don't have to take the trade unless it makes the new level and breaks out that 25.50 area, as we have to respect the resistance in a weak market. In a weak market, resistance is important, obviously. Tesla here, for those that are keeping score, is diddling in the middle again. However, it usually does something in the afternoons. I was really hoping we'd be breaking off of VWAP because I thought this was an all-the-world double top break, trade the long, trending above VWAP, and then even take the breakout. None of that is happening, and now it looks incredibly weak. So I need this to get above VWAP, and then I'm going to start looking for longs if it starts to hold, and especially if the market can break above 39.80, I might just start getting into the longs almost wherever. What's going on?
Prad's doing something I was trying to get in his video there in the back. But all right, so yeah, we're just getting set up. I think he's getting set up for the hair situation right there. I just want to say one thing here about Meta before we go. I just took another piece out at 170. Honestly, this is not, the market's coming back down, so we only have half a position right now, less than half of a position. And it's going to still be a loser because, hey, it's not going up. But right there, we just bounced off of 170 again. So, we took another piece peaks out. That's where we're long. Initially, our long was 10s. We got our best out is only 14s. We averaged it in, but here it comes down. Slippery slope here on Meta. It does look like it's going to break, and then we're gone. We're out of this name when and if it breaks to the low side right now. So just be careful about Meta. My out 70. So if it breaks back down below 70, we are going to be out on Meta. Apple of my eye. I mean, it's right here again, right at this bottom of the day. But, you know, if the market's going to fail to get 12,000 again right there, not only 12,000, you just switch this thing from an NQ to an ES, like 4,000, right? We've already talked about this. You're well off now. You're 40 handles, 35 handles away from 4,000 now. We didn't, well, did we? I thought we did test it. No, it was just off the open. We didn't test it at all. The highest we got back right there was, well, close, 39.80 or so right there as the top, and now you're starting to fail out a little bit here on that name as well. This is the ES, of course, below this key level on the 50 period. I mean, it's not super key. This is the thing. You got to bounce off here before you even think about going long. So that's where I'm thinking on Meta, kind of stuck in the middle here on that trade, and that's never a great spot. So we're going to have to hold out on that one. We're going to wait for it to come through. NVIDIA, again, probably a missed opportunity on that high side, but you know, if we're thinking long, we got to be here for it. So, yeah, I'm a little nervous about this ES right here. Looks like we're going to take that bottom out almost right now. And when we do that, then, you know, most of these names will fall through. So, yeah, this is a slippery one here for Meta. I don't love it anymore, but, you know, this is a good spot that if you were thinking about a long, it's not horrible to reload it. I'm already in. I'm in a decent spot. We'll like to see if we're right. If not, it's going to be a 30-cent hit through 70.
Really should have just take that Coinbase. Don't wait for the pop. Short the low. Sometimes you got to short the low. When it's trending to the downside, it makes a fresh low that can be an entry point. So I have Moderna. Still looking for 139s to fill. But I'm going to try to join Coinbase here because it did take out that bottom from 2 days ago. I was about to say earlier this week, but that was literally on Wednesday. So it is flushing. It's gonna suck. Anytime you have to get back in like a dollar and a half from where you took out the same position, it's going to suck, but you have to accept the fact that you made a mistake and then just join the trend. It is what it is. If I think the stock's going down, then I got to be willing to short it, even if I sucked and I hate myself for having to take this price. So 57, it goes back above. I'm going to start working a short off 57.5, but I want those fills above. My last-ditch effort on Meta is kind of holding this trend line, so this is it. I just got a refill. It's got about 20 cents. Otherwise, that's going to be a flush to the downside. I wish I had put on – I should have more than just one short at this moment, obviously, but that's how it works. Bed Bath & Beyond doesn't count because, quite frankly, I just never got out of the last of it. I set a stop for the last like 10%. It didn't break the high, and I didn't even get more. I should have just added to here, but for some reason, I thought Bed Bath & Beyond was pretty strong. So I did not get more shares in. I might just, if I see 150 again, I'm just getting out. There's nothing to see for that trade. Unfortunately, you know, I could have done this twice, but I only did it once.
Crap. Nah, I just made a keystroke error. That's okay. All right, we'll try to get back in. Nah, it's fine. I was short. That's fine. Now it's coming back up, so it's all good. All right, so we were just short. I'm going to go shorter right now. I just wanted to put in a 170 fill if we get out of this on 170. So we just shorted Meta. We got out for 10 cents. We were holding for 50. I was trying to put a bid at 50 there on Meta, and instead I punched out. So, all right, 170. If we retake 170, then we're going to get out of Meta. But I'm going to try this one more time on, like Neil just said here, on the short side now of Meta, just to see if it goes. I don't know. Like if the long's not going to be right, let's see if the short is right. And then if all of this is wrong, then we just look foolish just for doing what I said I wouldn't do, and that is trade in the middle. I mean, part of me wants to put on a trade for everybody, but at the same time, it's like we got to make sure that we're right here. We're below the 50. There's 170. We failed a bunch of times up here at 170. I could sit here and justify all of this, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We need to find a winner, and that's what I'm trying to search for right now, our winning trade. So let's try to keep going on it. Right now, we have that Meta short, and I'm fine with it. We're short at 169.70, looking for like a 150 fill or possibly lower on that one. So here we go. Some nice downside moves coming through for Meta. Let's hope for that. If it takes 170, we're gone. That's just my next plan of action here on Meta.
So I just made a keystroke error, but now I just can't stop thinking about what I just saw a second ago. You guys are going to love what's going to happen here, but I made a keystroke. I was going to get out. I had a bid on Moderna. And I tell this to traders all the time. If you ever decide to adjust something, so in this particular case, I was short Moderna. I had a bid to get out in front of 139. It wasn't really filling, so I was about to cross the spread to get out. So instead of canceling my order, in the second that my order got taken and filled, I crossed the spread at the same time, accidentally go long, which I absolutely didn't want, would have worked out, so I just get out of the trade. So I'm now out of everything and out of the accidental long and looking for re-entry into Moderna. So what happens to you? That's kind of unfortunate. That's on me. Like it's a keystroke error, nothing more to be said about it. I still like the short off 140, and you know what? If I hold that long, I'd be celebrating a win, but I'd be celebrating a win on a stock, on a position that I didn't actually want. So I'll look for the reload here off that 140 level if we can even get it. Just a bit unfortunate for me on that name. If we get any chance to get back up to 170, I will try to take some meta out. And now my trend line's gone because it doesn't actually keep them there. That's the other thing. I noticed this morning, like I had a trend line that I drew yesterday that was still there on my chart. It was on my 15-minute one that I drew yesterday. But yeah, on meta, just to give you guys a quick look, it's really not that hard to figure it out. There you go. So I'm looking for this line here to hold up, buy the dip when it holds it. Now we're gonna get some out at 170 and hopefully continue that trend to the upside. And DJ, yeah, I'm always careful with mRNA shorts. It's short at the low of the day. So if it does not hold this level, I respect the fact that maybe it's exhausted itself. However, it's been trending for like 3 days in a row now, so respect the trend until it tells you that the trend is gone. I didn't do that with Intel this morning. I kind of got out too early, convincing myself that the trend was over and starting to work longs a little bit too soon.
Yeah, there's absolutely no trend happening right now, and it looks like we're going to get stopped out on Meta one more time here, breaking back above 170. So, yeah, I mean, we're short here at 78. We'll lose 30 cents, then we're going to lose 20 cents. So that sucks. Like, trying to make a move, and then this happens. It's just like this is why you lower your shares, and we've talked about when you want to be able to trade your maximum amount of shares and when throwing good money after bad and all that crap. But right now I feel like a little silly just trying to trade into this choppy market. Look at the NASDAQ right now, it's choppy. The only thing you tell me when we're ready to go. As soon as we're ready, we're going to throw it over there. The only thing choppy about this is going to be my guy's hair in a couple seconds. So we're good to ready to go, man. This looks really fun. It looks really exciting. Meta just got stopped out, but let's go over there to the barbershop.
Can they hear me? Hello? Hello, hello, hello? They're good? Okay. What's going on, everybody? My name is Fahad. I hope everyone's doing well.
Put the banner.
So this was part of the deal. If we hit 5,000 donations for Turkey and Syria, that'll shave my head. I honestly wasn't that confident when we were talking about pricing and whatnot, but it hit it. Liz, careful, the camera's there. We did hit it, and we hit it beyond. True Trading Group matched it. We got 10K, and now it's above 11K. And awesome. We upraised the goal to 15, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to do the challenge that I said I would do. I've been growing this hair my whole life, basically. I always cut it, but never went bald in my life, not once. And today, I'll do the honors, and I'll be donating the hair as well. So I got Mark with me here to cut it. We did the requirements, everything needed. It's more than 12 inches. I hope a little kid out there somewhere enjoys this beautiful, luscious hair. That is one of the greatest hairs ever. Here we go.
Where'd you like to start, the left or the right?
Oh, we'll do this right side right here. Top right.
Here we go.
First one. Oh, it's tough. Good stuff.
Oh, my.
You gotta have like real suit.
Oh, they're sharp. They're brand new.
Are those like actual barber suits?
I feel it. That is thick
Hey-o!
hair. Can they see that properly? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, they can see it properly. Don't worry about that.
I'll hand this out. Yeah, Liz, do you want to tie more rubber bands into these, just so that they're tight? Oh, okay. We'll put it out. Yeah, the zip flag back. Yeah. We'll tie in this.
I just wanted to show that the hair wasn't fake,
Yeah. It's not real. It's not fake. Oh my. That is ponytail number 2.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there's number 2.
Wow. Holy smokes, that looks crazy. That looks crazy. I look like Cat Williams. You ever seen Cat Williams? Oh, this is short. I feel like an R&B artist right now. I'm just transforming into one. Number 4. Just the one, yeah?
He's going to look good with a bald head.
Yeah,
I think they
of
can hear
course.
the
That's what I'm
snips.
saying. He's
Super
gonna look way
satisfying.
better.
Especially with the beard.
All right, that's full. Nah, I look crazy.
All right,
All right.
you can wrap it.
Okay, and then the number 1 rule. You're gonna have to mute my mic when I turn this on, but it was down. You see what that does? It's like 7,500 helps 100 families. I was talking to Pratt and Mark earlier about imagine yourself in those people's place. Earthquake, you just lost everything. You're in the middle of the street, no food, no water. Someone comes with water and food. How much does that mean to you as a person? So that's what you guys did, helped a whole bunch of people, 100 families, and made their whole lives optimistic again. So here we go, down the middle. All right, mute me, brother.
You don't need the mute. Yes, sir.
There it is right there.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
bring it back.
And when
Amazing.
it's done,
This is like happening 10 feet from us
Yeah.
right now. So I want to give a big shout out. First of all, Fahad, I mean, that's,
look at the guys trading behind. Like they're all just
that's
standing
amazing.
up watching.
Wow, we're actually going that short on him? Okay.
All the way.
All right, great. I mean,
Ain't no
that's
half stepping. Ain't no half stepping.
prayers up to everybody, man. You know, it's really, I'm really happy to be able to be involved in this as well. And thank you to all of you guys out there for anybody that donated, or if you didn't. Cool, man. It's just acknowledge this. This is what we're doing. We're really super happy to be able to do this with everybody. And big shout out to you, Fahad, for doing that. We're gonna
And
go
remember-
back. We're gonna go back.
Remember, you can still donate. This isn't
Oh, yeah,
over.
it's till February
Just
28th.
Yeah, just because we met the challenge, there's still plenty of money that needs to be raised to help out the cause. Realistically, that's
Never
gonna
ends.
take a long time. The problem that always happens is everybody
Let's go.
remembers this right away. At the moment the disaster happens, and then every day after that, it gets more and more challenging to keep it on top of people's minds. So don't forget, you can continue to contribute. Now, this market is bouncing pretty decently here. So I am short in coin. I got stopped out of that reentry on Moderna when it took out 170, and I've got the coin short now. So we'll see what happens on this Coinbase. Meta did make the break, and it's now trying to run higher. So I want to look for now higher lows once again. That'll be in front of 170. Let's see if it can trend up. The market is definitely on one here, but it has not got the resistance. 5 handles from the big level on the ES, and the NASDAQ is on the brink of 12,000. We get above 12,000, and then all of a sudden, I like Tesla above VWAP on a break there. Tesla looks pretty gorgeous. If we get above that 12,000, I think it can trend back into 198. So I'm going to try to work some longs on Tesla, but I am a little bit concerned. If we don't fail here off 12,000, my Coinbase short could be in trouble, let's just say.
All right, so we're now $3 in the money. We want to wrap that up. Yeah, they're still cutting. You can go and show a little couple clips there. There we go. He's getting ready to rock and roll. I'm telling you, this dude is going to be one heck of an attractive man with a shaved head. Not that he wasn't before, but congratulations again, Fahad. Big time. I know it's a big day for you, so thanks for all that. NVIDIA is still 333 right now, but you know, we only have to get stopped out a couple times before we eventually get the long. It's going to be like a wash trade, man. I mean, honestly, hopefully this thing can go up to the upside. We've got out some here. We went back long 170. We talked about going short there. We lost 20 pennies the other way. We went long and lost, then went short and lost, and now we're long again. As finally the market looks like it wants to break. As soon as we broke higher, I was like, let me just get long Meta just in case. So let's wait to see if we can get one more move to the upside. As Fahad still getting it. We'll give you an update when he's ready to go. But right now we're long Meta. We're long here at 11 only. It's only at 31, but we've gotten some out. My best out here is 35. Hopefully it can continue to make a move higher, and we'll be able to get some more out. But right now that's what we're dealing with. Apple, again, like so stupid. When am I going to ever appreciate that bottom? We're still short Apple, man, and we're short all the way down here, all the way up here at 147. So yeah, a little silly for me for sure for not getting that out down there. So we're going to put another bid here. Hopefully we're able to get it out. But remember, if it breaks 50, we're gone on this one. We really want Meta to work out. So it's Meta to the moon for me would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, let's see 171 on Meta. Like it's the way it's trending. Look, if we break 12,000, that's one that's already taking out the top and continuing to trend to the upside. The one I want to go next is definitely going to be Tesla. Coinbase here, just the one short I got on that isn't Bed Bath & Beyond, which doesn't count. It's trying to hold the lower high here. So if it does, flush into the low, I want to get out some in front of the low of the day, hold some for the breakdown, and just going back over to, I got to go to Square here because I got away from Square because I thought it was bouncing down to VWAP. So I reloaded 77, it broke 77, thought we'd see VWAP, and now it's holding trend to the upside. So kind of like Meta, as long as it's trending up, I want to stay in the long if it's above support. Next dip, I'm going to be buying 76 halves on Coinbase, on Block, I should say. If we get one, great. If we don't, then I guess we just have to look to take out the top. But I also like that Tesla trade as well. So I like Square. I like Tesla at VWAP. We might end up having to take a breakout on Tesla. It's about 196.70 as we're taking 12,000 on the NASDAQ as well.
Yeah, so there it is, the 12,000. What do you guys think about taking $4 on NVIDIA? Do we do it or do we wait? That's kind of the question that I have right now on this. By the way, let's go, man. Finally, spinning a little bit of cash here for Meta. It sucks that we got slipped out there, and we made that decision to cover. Obviously, in hindsight, not good, and we should not have covered that trade, but we did. So there's not much I can do now other than sit here and watch it continue to go up. We still have half of our long. So there it is, man. Now we're 40 cents in the money. We took 20 cents. One was a 30-cent hit. One was a 20-cent hit. So even despite this move, we still have some work to do here in Meta. So let's let this continue to go up. So, okay. If you're going to give me 65s, dude, if you're going to give me 65s, my guy, we'll take that right now for Meta. We'll take 60 cents real quick. Remember, Neil and I have to be flat at the end of every single day. So, in what's printing now for us, we need to make sure we can get them out. So give me a 65 and we'll work with that. It's really, forget about everything else, man. It's this NVIDIA trade. This is what's really banking out for me today. We took a bunch of longs down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 longs, boom. Our best out is all the way up here. But that ain't good enough, man. So now look what's happening. Now you're getting an explosion move back up to the upside for NVIDIA. We're getting excited. It's a $4 winner now. We took 7 yesterday. Now that the NASDAQ's finally taken 12, let's hold on. Now that we have this, let's hold on. I think that's the right play now to give ourselves a little bit of room here in this market. So we're going to hold on to NVIDIA. $4 in the money, NVIDIA. We just got that fill here on the upside. Remember, we went long early. Should have not got out there, but we did. It took the 50 period and we got out. Nice blast up there for Meta. Man, if we didn't trade too much, we overtraded it. That's the bottom line, but still 70 cents now in the money. That's a bang for you. New member alert, and I think it's someone special for us. It is True Trading Group, now a member. They gifted 150 the other day, so thank you for that. Thank you, Adam DeLuz. Let's go, NVIDIA and Meta, both blasting right now. We've got them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, True Trading Group. Get in there. You're a part of this journey as well. And thanks to Fahad. It's almost done. We're going to get a look at him in a second. Yeah. I did get Tesla, but it did break out, and it got to 197 and a bit of a pullback. So we're long Tesla on the 12,000 break. It is working to the upside. Meta's almost a full $1 in the money. It was over $1 in the money. I love the trend. It hasn't broken the trend, and it's almost done. Let's go to Fahad.
Hello.
That is actually who you look like.
That is.
Turn around. Let me see everything. Oh, yeah.
Well done.
Hey, if Mark ever needs a different job.
Can they hear me? I don't know if they can hear me. Okay.
They can.
Yeah, what a difference. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know my head was this small in real life, but my hairline, as you guys can see, is non-existent. The corners touch my brain, which is weird.
If you keep it,
but
it's not over.
Tomorrow, I'm going to clean shave it. I'm gonna grab a razor and just clean it. I want to see how shiny my head gets in the light and the sun. So you guys will see on Monday. You guys will see a shiny bald head, and I can finally call Neil my dad or something.
Yeah, nice try with that. I will say this much. When you do go the cue ball, you cannot, the first time, you cannot use too much shaving cream.
Right.
That's all I will say. After a while, maintaining it's no big deal. But the first time through, it's a little bit tough if you've never done it before.
I'd be so nervous, man.
You know what? My mistake doing, I did it myself the first time.
Yeah.
And I should have let my wife do it. I'm just like, whatever, I'll handle it, no problem. And I cut myself like 3 times. But let somebody else do it and use a ton of shaving cream. He's looking fantastic, man. That's all I know. Let's go to Brennan for happening now.
Guys, 1 hour to go. Wow, what a difference, Fahad. You look great, man. Shout out to Fahad. That's amazing. Red board still to look at with 60 minutes left in the day here as we head towards the end of a Friday. 0.91 for the S&P. The Dow 0.77 downside. The Russell 1.25 right across the board. NASDAQ composite and the 100 1.5 still leading. As far as tech is concerned, it's all about PCE this morning comes out hotter than expected. A 0.6 month-over-month increase versus 0.5 expected. So all about investors sweating those rate hikes once again. We were dealing with Square today, or Block. We were dealing with Beyond Meat and Boeing, still among the most active, including this one at the end of the day. There's Boeing still down 4%, but trying to get back to 200. A bit of a magnet right now, guys, for Boeing.
Thanks, Brendo, for that. Yeah, Boeing on that Dreamliner news there. But okay, so I mean, NVIDIA's right back. Man, am I going to do this again? I feel like we should probably take this out. It came all the way back up. It's a Friday. The market just rallied just like we sort of was thinking about it. We already have a beautiful position in Meta, which I might just take another piece out right now. This is what happens when you get good shares. You just keep taking them out. But this is right back. I feel like this is silly to not do this. So let's try to ring the register now on NVIDIA and just get the heck out of Dodge. And there it is right there. Spin it. Take this opportunity to like and subscribe to our Spin it. There it is right there. So we're going to do that right now. Subscribe if you want, but that's a money trade right there. We're going to make some money moves coming through. Shout out to Cardi B. But right now, man, for me, that's a good trade. Like, we waited for that all day. We should have rebought it, but we didn't have so much confidence. Eventually, it comes right back up, and there it is right there, taking some out. So, thankfully, we're able to do that again and get a little piece out there for NVIDIA. So now we are flat and out of that trade. We took 7 yesterday. We're taking 4 today. That's 11 plus a bunch of scalps. I mean, let's just continue to have a good weekend off of NVIDIA and say thank you very much to that, because yesterday was a huge trade and today we just took it out, man. I entered that thing. Nothing too specific about it, but that's it right there, man. Good one. Lots of bags. Yeah, you guys are right. So we'll do it one more time right there for you. Good trade there. Hopefully you guys had it with me. NVIDIA finally printing.
Yeah, it's right. That 34, it's just a magnet for it. It might not be done, to be honest with you. But this market is definitely not done if we hold 12,000. If we actually hold 12,000 from here, we have not broken the morning support on the NASDAQ. This is the morning resistance, support to resistance, 1220. One time on the way back up from the first bounce, then we did it again at 11 o'clock, and we just got there now. If it punches through, you want to hold on to your longs. I'm holding on to Meta. I'm looking for the dip buy. For now, I'm holding on to Tesla. That's bought a little bit higher, so a little bit more caution there. And when I'm looking at NVIDIA, it's just, if we carry through, then suddenly you've got a triple top. If you go open, midday, and now, exactly the same as on the NASDAQ, so there can be another press. To me, that means there's opportunity to buy those dips. I still like some names to the short side. We'll see about that, but I did have to take out coin, had to get out of it. If anything, I want to take another shot at this one short. But Bitcoin is ripping right now, so I want to check in to make sure that's not still happening, because you don't necessarily want to go too far against the grain when it comes to trading against BTC. And then the last of the last was Square for me. Never got to VWAP, made the high. I'm still looking to dip buy here in Block. But look at that rejection. Look at that wick top. I saw this happen on NVIDIA yesterday and didn't short. As much as I like the dip buy in Square, this is also a valid short based on that setup entry. If the market is at a top and reversing a top at resistance, and I see that wick high, Even if I want to dip buy down at VWAP, to me that's almost always a short entry there. And look, Square's up 5%, that's great. It's also where it flushed at the open. It's hard not to take this trade to the short side for me. I want to be out in front of VWAP because I still think it's in a bit of an upward trend, but I'll scalp this. It will be the high of the day, and we'll see how far it can go.
Or I just tweeted out our NVIDIA trade, and honestly, it's like this is part of it. It's like when you get stopped out of one, you'll get into another type thing. So there's our stop out on Apple. It did pull back. That's just foolish because, again, that's the one thing I got to work on is like, making sure that we take the right tops, bottoms, and everything like that, and therefore we don't get punched out. And honestly, man, like we're having a better month in February than we did in January, and January for me was a good month. So now we're starting to really like feel the strategies out and what we're doing. So I feel like we're getting bigger and better. So let's just keep on going, man. All right, what's up to Mark Knight, everybody out there on the chat as well. Hope you guys are having a great time. Okay, so I tried. Okay, I didn't try. Sorry, I got filled. All right, that was good. I didn't realize I got filled up there at 65. So we did get filled on that meta. That was 55-cent winner there. So 65 and 11, 54 cents, sorry, on that. So that was wind up being a good trade. Although, too sloppy in here. And even as this was happening, you guys might have heard my frustrations with myself. Was just the fact that it was just too sloppy of a trade. So wasn't happy with how I sort of treated that right there. But either way, good trade for Meta. Back to the upside. I like it. I know Neil still has it. Yes.
Still in,
okay, good. So that's
I
good.
got a trailing stop in, so we'll see.
It's all good, as long as you still got the trade. I mean, that's what it's all about right now. We'll see. I don't have any trails in for it, but let's just see if it gets back up. I do have another offer at 60 to get a piece out if that does go upside. Yeah, I know. I feel you, Rachel there. What's up, Rachel? She's like, sheesh. Finally was able to take some profits there today. Yeah, I'm with you, man. That NVIDIA trade was a sweat job there, getting all the way back up to the upside. Where is it right now? Did we get out at a decent price? Yes, we did. 234 now. Well, no, right here, sorry. Still the same price. 233.90, just dropped down $1 and came straight back. So, yeah, so far so good. I like it. And, yeah. Let's just hold this. Oh, we're into power hour now. So let's just do something with that. Let's hit the alarm. We're into power hour right now. That was fun. We got sidetracked with Fahad there.
No, well, of course we did.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
But I didn't even realize it was past 3 o'clock. That's fine because this is when we start to see some acceleration. Now, I would prefer if it was to the upside. Just to get this out of the way, Bed Bath & Beyond is an absolute nothing burger, and I don't think it's going to move. So I'm going to try to just get out of it pretty tight to the range it's in right now. I like Alibaba, but it might not break the range for something to happen here. But it is holding a higher low. That looks like it can be a good one. But again, these Chinese ADRs, I saw someone talking about it, and normally that setup looks great for it to break out with the market. I just took another leg out on Tesla, recognizing the fact that, okay, could not get past 197.5 earlier. So a couple of shots at it here today, and it's in the afternoon, and it's already failed. If the market does not hold up this top break, you'll get a real pullback, and you could easily see 195 again. And I'm long closer to 197. It's not reasonable to hold all the way through. The new entry for me was Square, so this is one we want to manage. We're holding on with a trailing stop on Meta, and Tesla is a very similar type of play. But if we get a rollback in the market, I like the risk here. I added back into this so that I have full position, and then it'll be about 35 cents worth of risk. I mean, you're getting better than 2-to-1 if it gets to 77, or about 2-to-1 if it gets to 77. If it gets all the way to VWAP, you get a little bit more than that. So I like the risk to reward. It is counter trend, but this is a name that was at resistance at the same time as the overall market. So I liked it for the short at that particular price. Understanding that, of course, we are at a bit of a top here, guys. So it looks like the market's going to make a decision soon. Hopefully, I'll be holding on to the longs and exiting the short if that happens. If we flush to the downside, both longs come out, hold the VWAP on Square, reload some of the longs. I still think we've made a pretty convincing bottom.
Yeah, and thanks for all the comments there about everything, man. Yeah, we've donated also. Yeah, there's 4 big, huge, I don't know how long they were, but they're more than 12 inches because that was the minimum there to kids for the hair, for a wig and things like that. So just those of you asking. I've just asked in the chat if we can get a before and after picture for people that have joined late. So stay tuned for that. He's going to get that to us right away just so you guys can see everything and or any highlights. I don't know. I'm sitting here doing the show, but hopefully we can get you some highlights of Mark cutting it. And that was a lot of fun. So thanks to Mark for bringing the kit there as silly for us because me and Neil were talking about it. a barber's busiest time is Friday afternoon.
Of course.
So it's too
Yeah,
bad
like-
that didn't happen, but Mark nailed it. So, I mean, who really
Exactly.
cares? So thanks to Mark for
Mark
that.
can do everything.
What can't
What
Mark
doesn't
do?
Mark do?
I mean,
Like,
that's
seriously.
the thing. So I honestly waiting for an answer. So Mark can tell us
You
if
guys
there
have
is something.
you have no idea. He does everything.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday the
Everything.
TV goes up there. I'm like, how did that happen? Boom. You know, that's how it happened. What about the green screen? There it is. Hang the bell. Bell's hung. Shave dude's head. Dude's head shaved. I mean, it's just like
Fix any problem that I have with my PC ever.
It's
as
anything
well, he
like
can
that.
do.
I mean, I don't know.
It's
I'm
like-
looking around. I mean, but he's had his hand in everything.
I'm like,
the only
Mark,
thing that
this
I
is
don't think he
happening
did,
just-
but he probably did something to it. Randy built the desk, as far as I know. But probably we're probably going to hear in our ear right now that it was actually Mark. But we'll give the credit to Randy as it is right now. But yeah, anyways, it's about the team here, and I want to thank everybody for joining us every single day live as we continue to trade. We've got 10 plus people working for us at least here, and I want to thank everybody for all the job that they're doing, and thank everybody for becoming a member and all that kind of stuff. Help support the show. There's very few trading shows that don't sell anything, and guess what? We don't sell anything.
So you always say very few.
I just don't know if there is another one that's on there that potentially doesn't sell something. I don't know.
So until that point, this is the only one as far as I'm concerned, right?
You say
I'm
never to
just
speak in
saying.
absolutes.
No,
so
you're right. I do always say that, and you're right about that. I say never speak in absolutes, but I also say
Hydration
do what you say you're going to do. I missed the breakout on Intel. I thought I put a stop in 25.15. There's the break on Intel. It was gold. It went right all the way up to the high where we shorted in the morning. And look, I'll take it on the way back in. I just feel like Intel's made a pretty convincing bottom. I just said that about the market. I think Intel's done it as well. So I'm buying the dips on this bad boy. And let's just see if we can get going. Look, I talk about it on the daily, and I haven't even shown it because it's been short Intel, short Intel, short Intel until here. I just feel like once you get to a level like this, like hitting 25, that's the big price. Pretty much everybody's like on the long term, this is where you want to buy Intel. I've heard a lot, including myself. And then you make the higher lows here. Then you break out the lower consolidation. This is now just long and buying the dips. Even if it breaks 15, I'm buying it down into 25, which is something I haven't said ever for this name. Until it happens, though, I'm just going to be sitting on the bid trying to catch more. NVIDIA is starting to pull back, so I think we could see that happen as we speak. That gets to 232. That's still my 15-minute. If that gets to 232, that was a great consolidation area. I think that's a good place to jump into some longs on NVIDIA if we drop about another $1. Meta, ooh, the trail, 5 cents away from getting trailed out on Meta. It's probably going to happen. If I get trailed out, it's only because I want to rejoin it at the bottom end of the range, and I want to stay on NVIDIA for a second. So that'll be down around 169.85 or so. But this is where I put the trail in. I'll get out, and I'll try to get back in. Don't want to waste that 40 pennies.
Yeah, so actually it's just on topic there. I actually, like I said, I was trying to get better at making sure I take profits, which was good that we sort of held out on NVIDIA, but there it is again on Meta. We just took another piece out, so we only have 30% left of our initial trade anyways. So Meta right now, hopefully, like Neil said, it is dipping down a little bit. I'm going to hold this until down here, that 200 period right there on the 50. So we're going to hold that until it breaks back down below, and then we'll get out of Meta if and when that happens. Actually, our out was 90s there. Why did I have 90? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so our out right now is 90 on Meta. So hopefully that will come through, and we'll get out of that one if it does come back down. Just didn't want to give up everything. We're long at 170.11. So if the most, that was my math, is like we're getting 20, 30 cents on this. It happened to be nice that it went 55 cents for us, but let's just get out if it breaks back down below 170. I think that's going to be a pretty decent play for us to do that. So that's what I'm looking at right now on Meta. But let's go over to Google. That's another big tech name here. We will do some Carvana, some Bed Bath & Beyond. I know that's moving as well as AMC. But for right now, Google, again, funny because I think wasn't it down to $88 today at some point? Yeah, there it is, 88.60 with a nice bounce, and that's kind of making a top again. And look where this top is, 89.40 right here into that. That's going to be a good short. So we missed it about 20 pennies ago, but I still like this trade right there, 89.40 for Google. That could be a level that we're a little concerned with. So let's look at getting a short in Google if it bumps back up there. We're still long, just chug that water. We're still long Meta, but Google at 89.40 looks to be a decent short if it gets back up there. So that's something that I'm going to look at, just looking at it on different charting and everything here. But it's the 50 period is everywhere. Plus we have view up at 89. So I think if it move up there, back down, that's about 30 cents worth of risk. I think we could probably take that here on Google.
So there was a great question just now from Mateo, because Mateo put in the chat, he said, is there anything that, like, once you're in a trade, is there anything you could see, like, on the chart that would change where your stop might be? And yeah, well, two things. If it runs in the money, you might trail it. That's the first part. But what you might do sometimes is raise the stop. And like the only situation in where I'd sort of raise the stop is, like, imagine a scenario where like it does like an up down move where I see another one of these like crazy wicks off the consolidation, but it doesn't quite get the high. So like if it was, instead of these bars, like imagine it did like it was moving down, does a blast to the upside that goes, this is now 78. So like 77, 97, let's just say. It blasts up there, then slams right back down to 75. If it's doing that like multiple times at the 78 level, well, I might not want to get stopped out at 78 at the high of the day because it's doing that crazy up-down action and the sellers come in after every single pop. So in that situation, I might move the stop higher just by like maybe 10 cents or so. So if it runs 78, I'm not getting stopped out at that price. And then maybe you can add when it stops everybody else out who had the 78 even stop. But that has to set up. Usually you see that happen a lot on small cap names and those low floaters. Maybe not as much on something like a block. But yeah, it is something you have to be cognizant of. Like if you're not listening to the market in terms of what the price action is telling you, then I don't know, like that's what we look for. We look at price action, and if you can change your mind, which does mean moving your stop, moving your targets, all that good stuff, definitely for sure. And you know what? I'm going to kick myself for this, but that Bayer stock.
Yeah.
So that actually, I felt like it's set up for a short, and I was like, oh, I want to take a shot at this long of a VWAP. And I had the long stopped out, and I was like, this looks like a short. And right here is where it looked like a short. It stopped me out long, then did this. Broke up to like 950, and then there you go. There's your entry for the short position because it's already done that craziness. And then it did it again and then flushed. So it's got a bid at 750. Clearly, someone's buying it at 750. But that over-under at 9 was a short setup, and I might have missed an opportunity there. So if you're long, I think the longs are best where it's worked, which is off 7 and off of 750, and then above 9 till it proves otherwise. Just feels like it's a little bit of a short trade. We're starting to come back in this market. We're back beneath that 12,000. So here comes Intel. If I believe it's made a bottom, then I'm going to be long at VWAP. If it holds this consolidation level, it's about 25 even, then that's it. If it breaks it, well, then I gave back the money on the shorts going long on Intel, which was going to happen someday. But it just feels like it was a very strong bounce off the low, and it can definitely continue. I do like this one. If the market gets through the top, this one's been bleeding so badly that I feel like this can be the day.
Yeah, it's too bad because I was looking at Google and I actually kind of like this trade back up here, but I'd like to get it sort of at this high. And you know, just as we were patient with NVIDIA, I feel like we got to sort of be just as patient with this. Although you're kind of at a decent level right now where you could short it. It's just coming in right now. You're starting to bump up a little bit here again off the 50 period. So I'm pretty happy just sort of sitting in what I have here with Meta, but also trying to get shorter into Google here if we do take 30. 40 is where 39 is my short. So yeah, 40, which is that top here. Then if we do get it, we're gonna try to take it, get out here if it breaks above 60, which would be that level. So if that does come in for Google, that's a level that we're gonna look at. Let's look at something else. What else you guys want to look at? High runners, whatever, low floaters, anything like that. We can talk about it. But again, thank you. The donations are still coming in, so we thank everybody for that. Okay, we said we look at a little bit of AMC here, so let's do that quickly here. AMC.NY. 619. We talked about 590 this morning coming into play. It looks like we just bounced off $6 again here for AMC on a 3-minute chart. You're still in the middle here. Yeah, there's that. I mean, we talked about 590 earlier today when we started the show, and there's 590 as a bottom, and there it is again. So I'm really happy that we talked about 590. That was yesterday, that bottom up to the upside. Now today, I guess it's just bumped up 6 10 cents to 6, and now you can see that coming through again as well. So let's see if, whoops, right there, just got a crazy fill. We're gonna wait to see what happens now with AMC trying to break above this 625. That's not a bad deal for AMC. And then Bed Bath & Beyond, Neil, as you know, went on a little bit of a run today, a little bit.
A little bit.
And then now what are we doing right now? Okay, so topped out, so 168 was the top, and then the top again, and now you're trying to break below. This is probably a good short right now, breaking through 155. It still is SSR though. I guess I'll have to pay for some shorts on that one, but that's Bed Bath & Beyond looking at 155. And then finally Beyond Meat, back to 19, so this could be another trade here that we look at. So Beyond Meat trying to go one more time. Again, I kind of like this break right there, 1967.
It's funny you say that because I'm on the bid of 155 on Bed Bath & Beyond. It's like it doesn't want to move off that level, which is a little bit frustrating sometimes. Tisha in the chat saying DCRD is halted, so hopefully that's a NASDAQ stock. So here's the issue with a stock like this. It is halted, but it's done 38,000 shares worth of volume. If there's one indicator that puts something almost instantly on the no-fly list, at least for myself, is when there's that little volume. Like if a stock moves this much on essentially no printing, there's no trade for a day trader because there's no possible way to get in and out of position in a reasonable sense. It's multiple halts to the upside. It's probably just going to do more of that. So there's really no volume here. I know it's up 50%, and maybe if you're in this one, like swinging it or something, that's great. But 38,000 shares is nothing. I wouldn't trade it personally as a day trader. I'm not sure how you manage risk with it. And I'm guaranteeing you this, it's blocked at Day Trade the World. I promise you, like Day Trade the World traders can't trade this because there's too little liquidity, so there's no way to actually have the risk controls work.
All right, we just got another piece out on Meta. It just bounced back upside a little bit there, so let's take another piece out. Now we only have 20% left on Meta. That Google might have to get taken now. I mean, Google's still bouncing around here. GOOGL. I'm just using this autofill there. That's pretty cool. Fills out. You can just select which one you want right there. So yeah, maybe it still goes. Let's be a little patient. Let's actually switch our 39 to 35. But as I do that, we do have a before and after picture ready. So thanks for organizing that, guys. Let's throw it down. Look at this man. The man looks 10 years younger right now. Let's throw the before and after. Yep. What? Well, okay, it's kind of hard to see the top there, but that's good. There it is, Fahad. I like it, man. What do you think?
Hello. It looks so good, man. Wow.
It looks great.
Obviously, it's not perfect, but everyone, compliments I've been getting like on text messages they're saying I look more mature, more older.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
You know, which is a good thing. I'm a pops now, so I gotta look like a dad. Intimidate anyone.
That's the question.
Talks to my,
So what do you think? Like
my daughter's gonna.
when your daughter sees
I'm gonna
you
record it
first
actually. I'm gonna record her reaction. If she cries, I'll cry. If she doesn't cry, then it's all good. But I think she's too young. She's under a year and a half still.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised.
Yeah?
You'd be surprised. That's all.
I don't know, but I went back and looked at the chat, and you guys were really, really awesome. I appreciate the positivity. I appreciate everyone's contributions to charity. 11,000 is no joke. I swear on everything, it's no joke. You guys have no idea. I mean, you might have an idea, but from what I've seen, it does a lot. I have family that lives in the Middle East and the other side of the world, and 11,000 goes a long way, man. So
a long way.
So I appreciate y'all. I feel quicker. I will bust anyone on the court.
now
like
now
way
you're gonna,
more. Like
Yo,
before.
now you can dunk maybe.
Yes.
No, but now Neil has no chance because you're more aerodynamic now for running.
Before it was like if I would beat anyone, it'd be like 21-5, 21-4. Now it's 21-zip. Everyone, and I'm sorry, I'm
talking about the running.
We're not talking.
I might even move Sharif out of the paint if I wanted to.
Well, I mean, I thought you said for sure Arun you're moving out of the paint.
Yeah, but Arun's a bigger boy than Sharif.
You think so? Nah, Sharif's D's, man. Sharif is a big guy. I'll
Arun's a
move
big
both
boy.
of them at the same time.
I'd say Arun's bigger.
Arun's
Thank you, Chad.
bigger.
They're more jacked. They're more jacked than I am. That's for darn sure. But I mean, Arun's a bit of a force. I don't think Fahad, aerodynamic or not, is pushing around Arun. Let's keep that one straight. You'll definitely beat him in basketball because he's not a basketball player, but you're not pushing him around. That's for darn sure. But thank you, Fahad.
Yes.
The market's trying to reclaim this 12,000. I just feel like if we keep getting there and hold now a higher low, like we break it. And if we break it, then I think the longs are good. Now, that's not going to be good for Square, but Tesla's still holding out the high end. Intel, I'm actually trying to get the dip. I just got a bit of a dip buy again. So let's see if it can continue to go to that side. But it's all about the futures here in the overall market. Can it carry through? What? G-Trader, I don't actually understand this question. Can you go long and short on Google with a call? No, look, you can, we can't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can put a spread on, like, for sure, options trading, but we're just trading the equity. Like, we're on a prop floor here, directly trading the equity. So our options here are, I shouldn't say the word option. What we can do is buy and sell individual stock, and that is it. The actual stock in the live market, that is all we do here, Day Trade the World. Obviously, there's other things available out there, but if that's your question, then that's what it means. There was someone just said something. Next 5K, Neil grows his hair to, I don't know what that means, to Neil length? What does that mean? What does Neil length mean? Next 5K, Neil grows his hair to Neil length. I have no idea how long that is. I have no idea how long it would even grow at this point, quite frankly, if I even tried, which maybe I don't want to find that one out.
Yeah, we're not doing any more bets or anything like that. I mean, it would be great if that happened to the upside. There was talk of Brendan shaving his head. I don't know where that wound up going, but
I think we'd pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, I don't know where that wound up going, but he's always got the fresh fade, so all good on that one. And again, just thanks to everybody, man. It's been a super, super awesome 2 days. And we have 2 more days to go, man. February 28th
That's for sure.
is the last day that you guys can subscribe to that. Whoever user is in the chat, I know Fahad is built different, but we do have policy of not spamming that. We do know Fahad is built different, so thank you for that. He's also said that he can easily beat Neil in a race. So if you think he's built different, that's another proof there that he is indeed built differently. He's also can take Sharif in an arm wrestle, same as Arun. He can do all that, no problem. So yes, we do know he's built different. Thanks for pointing that out one more time. All right, so let's just keep looking for some trades. Let's go back to our NVIDIA trade quickly. Good out, man. We waited for that piece, and we're not going to make that mistake again. And if we're going to be here and try to educate, entertain, inform everybody, it's like when it comes right back to that level, no matter sort of what you're thinking, shoot, man, these charts. I'm even on the new version here, but there's the bottom of 229.50. It just made a great high back into where we were in the pre-market. It topped that out around 12 o'clock. This is when we were all going crazy for the stock, but then we held it all the way back down, only 20%. It came right back up. We let it go again. It wick topped to that same price. Then when we took 234, I waited. I did like that count. We waited for a while, and then eventually, of course, it made the move to the downside, and that's what it's doing right now. So we got out, rang the register there on NVIDIA, barbecued that one up a little bit. So that was a good trade there for NVDA. Now, we talked about getting that Google trade back in there. Again, I just should have got a little bit more, I don't know, should have taken a little more aggressive, I guess is the word, when we saw that. But I was waiting for that high, didn't come in. I still like Google short. It's going to have to come through because I guess we're bouncing off 12,000 again, right? So there's 12,000 on the NASDAQ. It looks like it's trying to go again back to the downside. We just topped off of 12,000 a bunch of times. So yeah, I'm trying to think about the short here, which is why we got out of our Google, out of our Meta. Only a small piece left on that one, but let's still try to find some longs. But I like a short better. So I'm going to be searching for some shorts right now into the close as the NASDAQ appears to be breaking lower and not holding that 12K, right? So let's get short. If it breaks 12K, we can get out.
So speaking of get out, Tesla just broke support, so I'm now out of the Tesla long. Tried that breakout of the range at the top end. It did get up to almost to the high of the day, and then now you got to get out. You got to respect the fact when a reversal comes in. You could be at VWAP in an absolute hurry. Just going back over, I want to show you guys Moderna, mRNA. We show the winners and the losers. This one did not work out that second time, but the short still feels like it's valid in mRNA. It's just a matter of holding it a little bit longer. I got wicked out when the market was pumping. The trend is still your friend with mRNA, and Intel's still above that 25. So I'm gonna continue to work that one. Even there's a chance that Intel could hold a low even if the market doesn't break out. And I want to thank I think it was Steve G in the chat for mentioning. He's like, what are you going to do if the market doesn't go higher but Intel holds low? Well, I'll hold the long because, quite frankly, sometimes the stock's gone down so much that it doesn't want to fall any further, and it might not matter that the market gets crushed. So if we get any chance back at 140, then I like some NMRNA. I only have one short on because Bed Bath & Beyond doesn't count. That might have broken 55 because I got to fill at 55. But until we see some real pullback in block, I'm not taking anything out till we get down into this range. We need to get closer to, where did my bids go on in front of 77? Like, I swear I put these in last time. It's a little bit weird. Anyway, so gonna get my bids out all the way to VWAP on Square, and I just got Meta. So this is Meta's last chance to hold the trend. I don't have to draw the trend line because by now it's got to be at least a little bit obvious what the trend has been in Meta. I'll draw it for you after if you really, really like it. And if it bounces here, fantastic. It's been a pretty good trend to the upside for now. But at some point, you know, it either continues to break out the high, we run out of time, or it stops out. It is now 3:30. I would anticipate this is probably the last time I buy the dip on Meta because it is so late in the day. It's either going to break down or we're going to run out of time to be doing so.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the same thing here. I have a new position alert actually right now, and it's going to be AMD. We are now short AMD at 97. It just took 78. We said we'd be looking for some shorts. You're below the 50 period right here, and we have some cover up here at 30. So I got to switch actually just put my stop at 25. Wrong stop for that one. Let's see where we're going now though with it. Nice downside move here. We're 10 cents in the money already on AMD. We always like to take something out for 10 cents. So let's try to do it again right now for that 10 cents and then just try to move on from that. But right now, 10 cents in the money on AMD. I'm laughing because we want more. You know, that 30 is going to be our out. So let's just get short again here at like 78.10 to average into the price if we have to. So that's something that I'm going to be looking for right now. Nice downside push here. Let's go. Bring it. Bring it. We're at 80. Did I get filled there? No, what happened? I don't even have an AMD bid after all. All right, I thought we had an 87 bid there. I don't know why we didn't. Let's just put one. Are my orders even going out? Yeah, they're going out. Okay. I was like, why am I not getting filled there? But okay. So that's it. So there it is. Give me that 87. There it is. Yes, sir. Spin it right there. Let's see if the market comes to the downside. We were looking for shorts. We missed the Google short. We cash out. I mean, how good is that NVIDIA out right now? Right there. $2 ago for that out on NVIDIA. So yeah, that was a good one. Now let's see if our newest position right here can also fail back down to the downside. We only took out a piece there we took out 20% for 10 cents. Remember, Neil and I are flat in basically 20 minutes on those market on close and bounces. So let's just watch out for this short. I want to be short against the 78.30.
Yeah, and I did get that first look on block. It just bounced off 77 here, so I got some out there on the bounce of 77. I do want this pulling back into VWAP. Now remember, I still think this is strong above 76. So this is an out into VWAP, but once it rolled over, it really accelerated to the downside. I did get a fill on Bed Bath & Beyond, which means it probably broke. I don't know if you were trying to take this break, but I finally got the fill on the bid, got a rebate for it, and it's now starting to flush again. So I'm just going to park a bid at 150 because that's what makes sense to me, actually 151. Let's go in front of that level, and then I can be done with that stock. It's Meta on the dip. Can it hold the trend line that I constantly have to keep drawing? Can it hold here? If it gets beneath about 75, then you know it's broken the trend, and maybe VWAP can be a bit of a thing. But otherwise, I'm going to get some out when it gets back into the quarter, look for the high of the day, kind of what's been going on this entire time. But that's a pretty big fail at 12,000. Only have Square on because obviously we got out of our Moderna trade. But Square, I'd like to get more than $1 on that trade to the short side, but I'm only risking about 15 to 20 cents on Meta here. So once it goes 1-to-1, it doesn't have to take much for it to go 1-to-1. That's been the line to hold this entire way.
Okay, what's the matter, Professor, over there? All right, so we're going to just continue to watch out. I'm just making sure that I have all my ducks lined up here on AMD as it's making a move back to the upside right now a little bit. The next short, I'm just telling you where I'm at here is right around here, 07, right where this price is, right there on the 50 in case we do come back up. And we just want to watch out for that. I think we can get it into the close. Someone asked, we could trade in the before market. Why can't in the pre-market? Why can't we trade after? We're on a prop floor with Day Trade the World. It's company policy not to take any risk after market because the markets are closed. The reason why we can trade pre-market is because we can manage risk. There's still more volume to come. The day is still there, and we have our risk parameters. $1,000, right? So if you trade in the pre-market, and let's just say my stop is $1,000, if I lose that $1,000, then I'm done for the day. So foolish on me to do that. But if you lose money in the aftermarket, there's a lack of liquidity. Like even in AMD, like even if you take a couple thousand shares, even right here, I can get out now. Like, obviously, there's no problem. The market's open. But aftermarket, what can wind up happening is if there's too many traders that are offside or one way, then, you know, we could really influence the stock, and it's not in the prop firm's best interest to hold anything overnight. So that's not what we're doing, and we have to be flat doesn't have to be right at 4, but it's right into there. You do have market on closing trades and stuff like that, so you can wait for those imbalances to come through. But no, technically speaking and theoretically speaking and hypothetically speaking and however you want to speak, we have to be flat at the end of the day. So that's the rule there, and I hope that's probably not explained well, but hopefully explained well enough. So that's what we have to do, be flat at the end of every day.
Yeah, and look, I actually see Michael in the chat saying here he's burned his account holding green trades overnight.
Exactly.
It's a lot of risk.
That's part of it.
It's a lot of risk, man, and we can speak from experience telling you that some of the worst trades or losses that people have are in low liquidity environments. That's aftermarket. Sometimes it's pre-market, but it's almost always at the close. Like, you're into something you don't want to be in or still in something after the market closes. And it can be a world of pain. And I'll tell you right now, especially if it's on a darn Friday, because if you get caught and there's no liquidity going into the weekend.
I didn't even think about that answer.
Oh man, it's not a good look. And I can tell you, when we had our own office, we've had to sweat that one before when a trader was in that position. It's a different event because when you're a day trader, you have extra leverage.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of leverage sometimes you do not want to be holding over a weekend. And that's a day trade where you're scalping is so very different from swinging. That's why we always talk about that. And I just found out, and someone said this in the chat, that there's a blizzard warning in California.
Oh.
California.
That's a fugazi problem.
Which I'm like, no, but I looked it up and it says severe weather alert, blizzard warning, and like, seriously? That sounds crazy. I need to see, someone send me some, I'll look up footage of that.
Well, I remember it was snowing in Texas. I mean, there's been a lot of these situations.
I've heard they got almost a record amount of snow in Texas
this year. I think it was last winter, wasn't it? When they had those power lines down and everything?
Man, it's crazy.
I don't know, but yeah, the one thing that I've known in all of my years is you don't mess with Mother Nature or your wife, but definitely don't mess with Mother Nature for sure, because that will pain you many, many times. But anyways, yeah, good luck to everybody in California. Hopefully it's just a blizzard. I think earthquakes would be a little bit more of a concern.
I would think so.
But if you don't have the proper footwear, maybe that would be a problem in a blizzard. But just stay safe and stay warm. Okay, here we go. I'm at 82, as if. Give me that 82 right now. Not even giving that to me. All right, so we were at 82. We still are. There it is. Give it to us. Give it to us. Give it to us. There it is. Yes, sir. Nice trade there. Okay, now we drop into the 50s. So we're short AMD once, twice. That's what we did, man. We liked that trade. We took it twice. So there's a nice little fill there for us on AMD as it's continuing to make a march to the downside right now. So, hey, like I said, man, one good trade, right? Make one after another, and then hopefully at the end of the day, you have a little something to hang un chapeau on. And then we go back down to the downside. And honestly, you're bouncing off view. I don't know if we're bouncing off view up or not, but that's why we take that out at 80, right ahead of view up. The next out right there, if you can't guess, is 70. Hopefully that comes, and then we'll wait for it after that. Because honestly, for right now, it's just a matter of let's trade this close. It's not about try to pick a bottom or a top or nail this trade or anything like that. We've identified that the market's been weak. We just saw a fail there at 12,000. As soon as I saw that, I instantly said to everybody, let's find some shorts. We found AMD. I think a lot of stock will be printing. I'm a little upset that we missed Google there because we did indicate that short. But again, Google would only at best be 25 cents in the money. We just took 20 cents or so on AMD, but hopefully this can continue to fall down as we watch this market collapse into the close. It sucks, I understand that. I'm hella long everything in my own account, but hey, the market's closing in on 12,000. It's took it out. We called this on Tuesday, so let's see. Hopefully we have a better week next week.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, obviously, it's good when you get winning trades. It's better when it happens and the market's going to the upside. I'll say it time and time again, but Sometimes we just go to the downside. So I've been playing in both directions in Square. The last was the short. I just got a bounce off 77. So I was looking for under 77, and then it bounced literally at the even dollar. So I took some out at 04s. Now I'm just looking for VWAPs. We got about 70 pennies on that one. Looking for a little bit more. But guess what's holding up for now? For now, still holding the trend is going to be Meta. Now it's probably going to have to get some help to find some strength to bounce off here, but it is holding the trend, not nearly. Look at every single time it's bounced off this trend here since it got from VWAP. Down, bounce, and instantly to the upside. Hold the trend, instantly to the upside, instantly to the upside. Now it's consolidating. That's obviously weaker than it was before. So this, I said it might be the last time that I'm long off this little trend line on Meta. It's almost certainly that that's going to be true, and it's very, very close to breaking. So I have to respect that fact. Even if you like it, you can't hold on to it forever. The market's going to tell you when you need to get out of Dodge. And you got to be kidding me, Carvana. You know what's interesting is I'm pretty sure I said I was going to look for a bottom on Carvana this afternoon. I don't think I looked hard enough for the bottom on Carvana. This got to VWAP, but even it's rolling back over. This feels like it's not a huge flat bottom break, but beneath 810, this feels like you could have a nice little short here because you're not risking a heck of a lot back into VWAP. 10 cents worth of risk for the chance that it just falls all over itself. I'll take a shot. We haven't been short since this morning, but it's SSR, so if I try the break, I might not get it.
All right, so we only got out of 40% of our AMD. It is starting to come back to the upside. I'm still waiting for where I was waiting before, 78.10. So if that happens, that would be good. Let's check out another big runner here today, Beyond Meat. All right, well, we thought that it would have a chance to go long if we broke above this, 1970, but it's not. It's coming to the downside, so we're going to leave that alone. What else is moving around? Let's just check back in on Meta.
That was weird.
What happened to you?
I just got filled 811 on an 810 break. So like
long?
No,
What do you mean?
short.
You got filled short.
Yeah, that's a weird fill.
You got filled short.
Oh, I think I know what happened.
you
So
put
you
the
know
wrong-
it's SSR, right?
wrong
so
order?
No. At the moment you put your order out, you can if it's 10 bid in that split second, it reprices you to 11 because it needs the uptick, and then you get a money fill at 11. Because think about it, the market's not this thing where you can stare at a level 2. And it's really these prices that are there. When it breaks 10, everything kind of disappears and it's this crazy action. And so in the moment my order is getting thrown out, a bid shows up at 10, makes the bid 10 again, and then I actually get repriced to 11 and then can actually get hit on the offer by some random order that just go kind of flowing through. Every now and then, when a stock is SSR, you can get crap like that happen. So I got 11s, and I want to add to it actually down here, and we'll see what happens. I think there's room to the bottom on Carvana, because quite frankly, why not? So I'm going to try and add to it first chance I get and see if we can get a big flush into the downside. Meta is just resting on this line and not wanting to crack through. I'm going to get almost all out of Square. Actually, I'm going to get all out of Square at VWAP, and I might as well just cover. Intel's not even moving. It's kind of frustrating because
I don't know what to do here.
Like Intel's holding 25, and the market's continuing to flush, and it's holding the higher low, but it just might not matter. There's not enough. I don't think there's enough time for it to get back up to the high. So that'll be a case of starting into it too early because there wasn't enough time for it to retrace the entire way. There's only 7 minutes till the imbalances. I can't take any more Intel. I'm just going to have to put my stop under, and then just I have what I have, and it goes where it goes because it was too late in the day. 3 o'clock, it felt like it was the right move, but I probably need to have that. I needed to have it here on the actual breakout when I said I would. So that's the problem.
I think we both forgot or didn't see that Brendan gave us the imbalance locator. It was generally, it comes at 3:30, which it came again today off of Financial Juice. So let me just call it up right here. It's nothing to do with this This is the locator, but it's an add up of all of these. And again, these aren't what's real right now. These are all of 9:30. So as of 3:50, these will all update. But it's 265 million to buy right there in our chat. So maybe there's a buy imbalance coming. So I'm going to put another bid here at 81, now that I see this, just to take another piece out on this in case it does dip back down. I mean, a buy imbalance, I don't think it's going to spark anything. I actually have to take away NYSE American right now so that we don't see that ARCA when it loads up one more time. But Yeah, let's take another piece out here at 80, just in case AMD, I almost said AMC, comes out as a bid, and then we don't want to just get taken the wrong way there a little bit, if that is what happens. So we still are waiting for that to happen to the upside. If we get a short, I'll still take it. I mean, support and resistance levels, just because the market is closed doesn't mean they're not going to hold. It's just that right now you do have an event that's happening in 6 minutes that are going to change the trajectory of many of these stocks. So you know what? Actually, with that being said, now that, this Friday, I'm going to cancel everything. I'll take one more fill here at 10, and then that's that, and we're going to use 30 as an out. So I'm still debating not doing this, though, guys. So I don't know. Let me think about what to do. It's nicely in the money now, but I'm not sure it's going to be in the money for long. So let's stay focused on this trade here for AMD. I'm not sure. That's okay. Let's just. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just hold what we have. Cancel everything. Let's hold what we have.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You don't need to do anything.
I'm holding what I have. It's like either I get VWAP on Square or I don't. Either we get a bounce back up off that 25 on Intel or we don't. And then Carvana, I just got into Carvana. And by the way, that breaks 11 and continues to fall down. Actually, I could take some out at 8 because I have 809s. But Dan Emmons in the chat just typed in, write down this level for a pivot on the NQ. I'll do a little bit better than write it down. I'm going to put a line in the chart and just hope it kind of stays. I think they usually do. So I got to find a way to put a note on this and put the Dan Emmons pivot level. Because I do this a lot. Where someone who looks at the futures a ton, like Arun does, he throws a level out there when he says it's significant for a long amount of time. I'll just throw it on the chart and I'll just leave it there. And every now and then it turns out to be absolute gold. Here's a look at the 2 I had from going way back from Arun. Well, 4,100, but there is a 40-20, which ends up being a great level. And then I don't even remember when I put this one in, but I must have just randomly done it. 39.50, that ended up being the bottom. You saw a lot of good stocks rally off that one. So, you leave them in there. So I have no issues putting that in, and we'll revisit that one next week for you. But I'd be an idiot not to cover. I mean, it's 345. And I'm like, oh, let's hold Carvana for the low. No, it's 345. It's like the end of the day, man. So I got some at 11s. I added to it here at 7s. And I'm going to take some out here 98. We'll get some in the 80s and then just see if it plunges to the low of the day. I did say I was going to look for a long in this stock this afternoon, but like I said, I didn't look hard enough because it was there. But now it just looks like it's another rollover on CVNA. You can't have a squeeze unless you break resistance. Resistance, break, squeeze to the upside. If you don't break here, you're not going further. That's the way it works, right? So Beyond Meat did. Carvana just had so much trouble doing so. This might just be one of those like Bed Bath & Beyond where you can be trying to find short pops for the next week or so on Carvana. Just be careful. It's a huge short interest, so always have an out.
Yeah, so again, we did pretty good again, just trying to follow our rules here. So there's AMD. I'm actually going to put a 78. I didn't actually put a stop out for it in case we're wrong on this move. But we just got our 83s. So we talked about that. They're getting out ahead of that level one more time. So it just fell down. We got it. That's how I'm trading it. We're not averaging in anymore. If the best trade we got well, not the best trade, but, well, it was the best fill we got was 81s. Then we're short at 98, so that's 17 cents. So we're out of 60% now. I'm going to give that back piece to 78.10. Again, I don't know if that's the right level, the wrong level, or what, but we're going to give that to 78.10 right now because we only have 2.5 minutes until that comes through. I did want to say, too, I don't know, it was Comp SRX1 or Euthanasia, who's talking about that, but Oregon, yeah, man, the Pinot Noir. I mean, yeah, I've never been to Oregon, but I'd love to go there, check out some of those wineries next time I'm around.
It's on my bucket list, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to go there.
Well, for something different, but.
For something, yeah. Oh, for what? For Oregon?
So Oregon, it's a big, it's a really huge track and field place because Oregon is they have a fantastic track team there. One of the Diamond League events for track and field actually happens in Oregon, and I plan on going to every single track Diamond League event. That's one of the things on my bucket list. I'll do the Europe tour when it happens, when I'm retired probably. But I want to go to Oregon before that just to check it out. What was? Oh, I lost my train of thought there. The Ducks are legit. They had a good Canadian basketball player a few years back. But I'm going to take this opportunity on Intel. I was just about to tweet something out on Meta where I respect the trend line and then it hugs the trend line. But I got out anyways. Intel. How many times am I hitting enter? But there we go. Intel, I'm going to have to take whatever bounce I can get. It's now 348. So stop under, and whatever bounce we get, we get. It doesn't have to get to the high of the day for me to get out. I just have to get out before the end of the day, and my stop is going to be right under at that 25 level. So we're getting imbalances in 1 minute. We have to be flat at the end of the day. Even if we bounce further, not much I can do about it.
Nope, and here we go. I was going to say, and here we go, but we have a minute now. The countdown is now officially on for these imbalances, so let's wait to see what they come out as right now. AMD, we already have our out, 78.10. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the market will just drift higher here, and so will individual stocks. So, hopefully we have a trade here for us into the close, but no guarantees where these names are going to go here. As we get ready to go, it's only 30 seconds. We may get stopped out before this even happens. 78.10 is right there. So if that happens, and we are stopped out. So let's wait to see if it goes in here. Ooh, 78.05. We just almost got it. I'd rather just wait to see to roll the dice on this, but honestly, if it breaks 10s, let's just get out and not, like I said, man, not even worry about it. So that's the trade that I have on board right now, and we're just going to wait for these imbalances. I'm just kind of wasting time here with only 54, 55. That's the time we're doing 57, 58, 59 if you're following along, and 50, and there it is. So see just how fast that was? We got stopped. Look where we got stopped out there. This is hilarious. This is kind of like it's better than what happened to you because we got a great fill. So we got triggered at 78.10, but it filled me at 78. So that's how fast it moved there, and then it came right back in. So, hey, man, that's a flat trade. We'll take that, and we'll be like, awesome, Phil. Thank you for that. So our trade got triggered, but then by the time our system threw out the order, it was already down another 10 pennies. So let's just see why that happened. Apple, big sell on Apple, too. Look at that.
All sells.
All sells. So that sucks because our AMD, we should still be in it if it's all a sell. But there's a big sell. We sort of knew that, man. 12,000 incoming. Intel sell as well, down to 25.
I punched out when I saw that, by the way.
Softy. You see, this is why you don't want to be anything. Softy cruising to 249. Boom, down 70 cents there on Softy. So very, very dangerous here into the close.
Yeah, like I didn't really hesitate. Sell and balance came in. I just took the L on Intel. Even if it goes from here, that's fine. I don't want to fight it. The market's coming down. Every imbalance was to the sell side. I did take some out of Carvana again, mostly because it's this late in the day. So it's working, but we're going to run out of time for this to make a real flush down into the lows. I might just have to take 780 on the next pump to the downside. 355 doesn't matter as much for the names that aren't big cap. Like all those imbalances you saw, Google and Apple, at 355, good chance they pair off and things could slow down. But something like Carvana probably doesn't matter. Something like Block, which I did not see Block on the imbalance list, but it is still, this is actually holding the afternoon trend to the upside. So at this point, I can just go manual. Don't have to have an order out there. Either we get 76.50 or something like this, take $1.20 on it, or it breaks back out above 77.20. It's really the only thing to manage because Carvana, unlikely to explode through 8 without me able to see it. Unfortunately, the market looks like it wants to end on the lows, down 2% today for the NASDAQ. So going to end a red. Obviously, it's a red week for the markets. Rough, but there were lots of great shorting opportunities. And heck, there were great longing opportunities as well. So a little bit of something for everybody. Yeah, so this is going to be the second worst day of the year, right? Because the first worst was 2.2, and now you're getting 2.04. So I think it's going to be second or third worst. Would think it'd have to be into that, unless there was something that was close. But right there, sad day. Not a sad day. Depends if you're a bull or a bear. We turned that guy over to a bear a while ago. There's the NASDAQ just trying to make those bottoms. And you could see Google with the sell. I mean, we called that Google position. Fortunately, we don't have it, but we were trying to get short on that. Our AMD's not doing anything. Apple leading the way on that move, but look at this move back. Remember, when this number comes out, it's just an influencer because it has to be, it's not like there's 2 million shares that hit the market right then. It's 2 million shares for the close. And now at 55, which right now it's 53, you're going to get it paired off. So it's probably going to pair off. And then look at this move to the upside right now. Wow, market really getting jiggy with it back up to the upside right now. So good trade if anybody's long anything now. You might want to take some out. Nice reverse. Yeah, Neil, for sure. Nice reverse there in this market. That was an interesting bounce. I thought maybe 55 you'd see that bounce. So I'm going to get, look, Carvana breaks 8, I'm out of it. But I'm just still, I'm going manual with Square. I really don't care with this one. I just feel like give it a chance to make another flush. The market bounced a little bit, and Square seems to want to hold. But if you looked at what just happened in like Microsoft, for example, you know, oh goodness, what's that wick? Okay, that's kind of. It didn't go to 251, obviously, but it was just cruising off the lows and then a huge bounce, right? So it is options expiration as well, which was pointed out. I didn't catch the name. Didn't catch the name and who said, watch out, you have options expiration.
Oh, right.
You're likely to get a bounce off of those lows. So that's probably what happened, and you might see a little bit more of that in about a minute when the imbalances do likely pair off at this point. Yeah, Square's really starting to slow down. I don't want to get caught at this bounces on me here. I might just take this one out. Call it a gut feeling here.
I would say it's a great call there. I mean, I don't know who that was about the imbalances, but you are 100% right.
Say it again.
I missed it. That this is not the third Friday though.
No, it's not. But it is still. It's still Friday.
Yeah,
it was Mohammed Alabrash in the chat.
Right,
I'll give you credit there.
Right.
I just didn't catch that until too late. But a good look there.
Yeah. So I mean, Brendan came with the number 2.4 billion. Okay, so there's Apple. I don't see any more. 355 is coming right now. We'll wait to see. Where is it, man? There's Google. Is now a buy. Oops, that's Cisco. I just clicked on Google, tried to find it there. It's now a buy. Amazon's now a buy. Look at this. Look at this. Into the close now. They are saying, wow, we just, remember,
wow.
I think we just reversed.
Oh
we just reversed jinx
that. Was a long.
We were down 2.1%.
Oh, that was a long.
We were down 2.1% there, man. Nice little jinx by us. Sorry about that, but that's what we did. I feel like we just jinxed that market, Neil, as it's trying to make a move back to the upside right now. But that's okay, so that's good. If you were short, sorry about it, but if you're long, that's good.
Great read, Mohammed.
Great read, yeah. Fun. What did he say?
Look at that. I was like, I honestly, I read what Mohammed said in the chat, and I was like, yeah, we're starting to slow down here. I think we flip at 355. Let me just get out. It's a gut feel. But if you didn't say it, I'm not sure I would have believed it myself. I'd be trailed out here. I'd be trailed out 40 cents after. Look at, Sharif just said you see Amazon. Oh, good. Load, PC load letter. Look at Amazon just now.
Yeah,
Look at the turn that just happened. That's the read you want. Sometimes that's how, like, that is a huge move. Microsoft obviously doing the same thing. Crazy move.
I mean,
there's that reversal at 355. You have the imbalances up, right?
Yeah.
Go to Sean.
Well, I mean, it's just the same.
They're all gone, though.
They're all gone, yeah.
They're all gone.
I mean, I think, wow, what a good turnaround there. And like I said, man, maybe now 1.79 seems a little bit better. We were down last night, right? Yesterday was up 1%. So it's still negative over the 2 days. It's going to be a negative week on the NASDAQ, I would think. Anyways, can't remember what we did Monday. Oh, yeah, holiday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
Friday,
so plus
Saturday.
today, yeah, negative for sure, I would think anyways there today. So anyways, good job there. Nice flip over. Shout out to everybody who called kind of a reversal. Look at Google too. Straight fire back to the long side. What else do you want to check out? I mean, I'm scared to check out Meta
170.
because... Yeah, look at Meta pumping as well. So everything right now is starting to get a little carried away back up to the upside. Congratulations, anybody that had that long, guys. Great trade and good day overall.
Wow, I mean, I wish I had flipped into the long. That was the mistake. Like, there was a chance just to take a shot, because you could have, any of those stocks, you could have just taken a shot if that was your read. Just go long at the moment to the low. Like, that was about 20 cents worth of risk on Meta. On Square, like, I'm just looking at Block because I was in it. At that moment, your risk to reward was 5 cents worth of risk plus slippage, and look at the move that it made to the upside. Like, that's amazing. So it's a great read. We always like it when you bounce off the lows, but hey, when it was a good day in both directions, you definitely have to take it. Oh, I did get out of, here, let me just show CVNA, because we talk about the exits. It ends up breaking 8, so I got back out of it. It caught a bit of a bid. It was a good flat bottom break at 810. Love that term. Love that kind of a trade. But yeah, this is down 20%, but really it was all buying this afternoon, like mostly buying, I should say, with the exception of that last little bit of a dip. So with 2 minutes to go, I'm assuming the man of the hour might be ringing the bell, but we'll find out in a couple of minutes. Just shout out to everybody that gave, and if you're still inclined, you still have till February 28th to donate. That is not going anywhere. So come next week, we'll be back, but also we're going to be back with that great charity, and Fahad will be clean shaven. I want to see cue ball. I want to see my reflection. Well, maybe I won't see my reflection in his
Is
head.
he doing cue ball?
Isn't he? Fahad, it's a cue ball. You're going all the way, right? Yeah, all the way. Dude, he's doing it.
Wow.
Legit. No
Okay.
half stepping.
Wow.
Fahad doesn't do anything halfway.
No, that's good, man. That's great. Yeah, so thanks again, man. Only 1 minute left. Good rally. Looking at the NASDAQ there, we talked about it on Tuesday when I sat right here and said we're probably going to get to 12,000 at some point this week. That's exactly what happened. So it's a 700-point move there, 400-point move. It was 7 from the top. When we came in here, it was right up to there. We talked about it going to 12.2 and then again there. So maybe I don't know. I saw Reliable Rudy talk about it may be a huge long next week. We got to open up above 12,000, right? And so if we do that, then I tend to agree that we could have a nice rally. We're closing right now at 12. So, to say that it's going to open up above it, let's just see where we go. And then we can use that as a top or a bottom. So that's what we'll be doing. Great day today. Fantastic. Thanks for all the support and love. Again, the charity, means a lot to all of us here. And we want to thank everybody for donating. And a big thanks to Fahad and his family and everybody. All the friends that he has, boots on the ground there over in Turkey and Syria. So, all right, 15 seconds, and then we're done right now. So let's hit that. There is nobody at the bell, but I assume it will be Fahad. Here he comes now, back over to the bell. So let's get ready to ring that in 3, 2, and 1. There it is right there. Oh, that's what he's working on. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. I like it the way it is. So,
No, it is a good look to have.
I should put this more on the middle.
Obviously, we think it's a good look to have it, just nice, tight, low.
I like it.
I like it.
I think he's going to try to grow his hair long again, I think, is the plan at some point. And then
Why not?
Then we can do it all over
again.
Then
do it all over again.
Okay.
That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
All right, guys, let's go, man. Yeah, that's why I like Fahad, too. Definitely believes in himself, and he put himself on the line there, so thanks, Fahad, for doing that. All right, Brendan, we talked about that little late day rally. It was nice to see, that's for sure. But how did we finish on the broader markets?
Yeah, still red, guys. Unfortunately, I was just trying to get the last prints to come through here. I think they have now. 1.69, it looks like, for the composite NASDAQ, and then 1.73 there for the 100. So it was all about tech all day long. It continues that way right through to the close, even with that late day pop. The S&P, the Dow, both 1% as well. So, yeah, all 3 U.S. indexes negative on the week once again.
Yeah, rough week. It's been a good start to the year. But February, what's interesting?
Great start.
February isn't usually that good of a month.
It's generally historically a bad month.
Yeah,
I think it's a red month.
Yeah, it's a red month historically. January is when people buy back into the market, and we expect February not to be so good. So, not too bad at all. Stay safe, everybody in California, for that blizzard.
Stay safe. I mean, hopefully.
Well, I don't know how. I don't know how bad it is. It's just we see footage of places that don't normally get snow.
Yeah, that's true. When you're not prepared.
If you're not prepared for it, because here in Canada, it's whatever. Everywhere except for Go Transit. Let me just throw that one.
Different story.
Throw them under the bus.
Okay, so again, I just hope everyone has a great weekend. Lots of plans here. I hope you guys have some plans with your family and friends and everything like that. No holiday. We had one this week, a short week. We're back, loaded up, and ready to go on 8:30. Monday morning. So thanks to Sharif again today. Thanks to Luca. Some fun trades there. I hope Luca held some of that NVIDIA and was able to get it out at that top level again. So Brendan, plans?
Not a heck of a lot. Going to be a relaxing weekend, which is kind of nice coming off a short week, as you mentioned, guys. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, exactly. So, I have a whole bunch. I got to take my kid back to Waterloo. Reading week is over.
Yeah.
So he has a job fair, something tomorrow, and then he's over to Waterloo. And then I got,
Love
hockey,
Waterloo, baby.
Hockey, curling, and gymnastics. Not tomorrow, but tonight. So, yeah.
What day's today?
Oh!
What day is today?
Friday. Yeah, gymnastics is Saturday, but there's a tournament or something for the older kids. Oh, you know what I want to see? Cocaine Bear. That movie, Cocaine Bear. You don't know about that?
Oh, no, I do.
It's released today.
I do know that movie.
Yeah, so we were going to go tonight, but then our plans got changed with gymnastics. So the wife and I are going to try to go see Cocaine Bear. I don't know. We'll drink a little bit.
I just typed in COC, and it was the first suggestion.
Of course it is.
There you go, Cocaine Bear.
Based
on a true story.
I remember we talked about that when you mentioned it to me months ago, actually. But that's a good one. I can't wait to see that.
I think it's like Iced Tea or Ice Cube. Someone has some say in that. I think it's going to be really funny to watch it. A bear on cocaine? I mean, plus maybe
the whole
the market
floor was talking about that one.
The market is like a cocaine bear these days. So we'll see if that can come into play. Hopefully I'll be able to see it. If I do, I'll let everybody know on Monday with no spoilers. But I think the spoiler is the bear takes cocaine. So, okay, let's go. It's getting a little loud in here. We got to wrap this up. It's drinking time, I think, on the floor. So from everybody here at Trader TV Live. Oh, shout out to Fahad today. Brad, I don't know if we have that view over there. Shout out to Mark. Bears versus Bulls. The party continues. There's Mark. Thanks a lot, Mark. Prad's back there already drinking, I think. So thanks. I think you might be able to see him over on my shoulder there. But for everybody here at Trader TV Live, you don't have to get out, but you have to get out of here because we are. So we'll see you on Monday. Ciao. Trader of the Day up next.